Unmuting me. Hello. We are live.
Hello. Hello.
Hello?
Welcome everybody. Uh hello. This is a
Hello.
strange little podcast, as you can clearly see by the picture that's up there. It's a spoiler cast for a TV show instead of our normal podcast. We will be doing our normal podcast next Sunday as per usual, but because WandaVision just finished this past Friday, we are going to talk about it. Also, I mean, you might see him in the chat right now spamming both my emotes and his emotes, but we have a special guest. My good friend Brian is here.
I love spam.
Good.
Yay!
Do you like spam with like toast or something? Like, what do you?
I like spamming, but I actually do like spam. I made some spam food this year. Musubi, like the
Musubi?
Hawaiian food with spam,
Oh
with
yeah,
rice.
I've heard good things
seaweed.
about. I mean, like spam
That's a wonderful little snack. Yeah.
by itself sounds absolutely and looks absolutely disgusting, but mixed with
Oh
things,
yeah,
It doesn't taste
It
bad.
looks so gross coming out of the container, but it tastes like a salty treat.
yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, our good friend Brian is here
Hi.
along with our normal crew. Chris is currently AFK at the moment, but he will be back to join us. But I have my good friend Charles,
Hello.
my good friend John,
hello.
and my good friend Chris when he comes back here, as well as me, your host. So the only real format we're going to do today is just the opening couple minutes, in which we are going to generally and vaguely talk about the show and about why we like it. And then after like 10, 15 minutes pass, we will go into the big spoiler cast. So if you have not watched WandaVision and you don't mind being spoiled, that will be your last chance before we go into full spoiler territory and I will literally say like the biggest spoiler in the show. And I will count down, so everybody has a chance to. So if you're watching this on YouTube, because hopefully we didn't get DMCA'd by Disney for taking the logo and whatnot, um, that'll be your chance. So, all good? All good? Everybody and Brian?
I agree
Charles,
to that. Yeah, I agree
John?
to
I
that.
agree.
Yeah.
I agree with that.
All right, cool.
Cute.
So, since Brian is our first special guest, Brian, what are your general thoughts about WandaVision?
Loved it. I loved it so much. So here's the thing. I don't know if even any of you know this. I've talked to Shane about this before. I am sort of a noob when it comes to Marvel movies. I've compiled a list here of Marvel properties that I've actually watched and seen, and it may surprise you how little I've seen.
Uh-oh.
I've seen the first Captain America.
Okay.
I've seen Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse and Spider-Man Homecoming.
Okay.
I've seen Black Panther,
Okay.
Okay.
and I saw Avengers Infinity War, and that is all that I've seen.
Huh. Huh.
Oh.
What?
So
What? You've only seen like 4 movies technically that are part of
Yeah.
the MCU? Jeez.
So
no,
I'm
Brian.
sort of a noob coming into this.
And
I
wait.
know.
Did you say you just
Yeah.
jumped into Infinity War?
Yeah, I just watched
Wait.
Infinity War.
Let's not gatekeep, guys. Let's not gatekeep.
No, I'm not
I just-
gatekeeping. I'm just surprised. It's like,
I just jumped in. Yeah, it was fun.
Ah.
It was a good time. There was
Ah.
a big purple man.
yeah.
Yeah. That was
So I'm coming into this. I provide, I think, a valuable perspective to your podcast as somebody who's not really that
Deep.
engrossed in
Yeah.
not that deep into the Marvel universe. So I'm happy to provide that different perspective for you all.
Perfect. That's what I
Although
want.
I do know about a little bit about the Young Avengers because I was on Tumblr in like 2010 to 2013
Yeah.
and they were very popular, so I got into that a little bit. But anyway, as the resident noob, I loved WandaVision. I thought it was so fun. I couldn't wait. Every week I waited for Friday for the new episode to come out. I thought it was so smart. I thought it was really unique. I thought it was a great way to learn about the characters. It was super hype. It was incredible for a TV show. Each episode felt like a movie in itself.
Yes, I'm in agreement with that. Basically, this show is like a 3-hour long, really long movie, basically.
Yeah. The
Um,
quality.
Mhm.
Regarding that, there were some episodes that were like 20 minutes long, and other episodes that were like 40 minutes long.
With the
Am I
finale
right?
being like 40 something. So
Yeah, I
60 and
noticed that
change.
too.
Yeah.
I did not notice. So some were really short.
Yeah.
It didn't feel short. It felt pretty long at each episode. It felt like there was a lot of meat to each episode, but that might just be my own opinion.
Yeah,
No,
'cause
there was. There's a lot of meat.
yeah, it's all, yeah, especially for like you said, 20, because I think the shortest episode I think is 29 minutes, I think at most.
I think
But they all.
the first episode is the shortest because it's following the actual sitcom format. So it's
Yeah, you're right. I guess that would make
22,
that would make more
23 with the credits.
that would
So,
make
yeah.
sense.
That would make sense that they get longer as they go to.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, that sounds pretty clever.
With
I see.
each one that gets closer and closer to the Marvel movie-esque levels of quality, it becomes more and more and more like a movie. Which I don't know if that was intentional or if that was just good editing, but yeah,
Maybe a bit of both.
maybe. So good vibe. You enjoyed it, Brian? No real complaints with the general show at all.
Overall, I loved it. I mean, here and there, I'm going to have little gripes with choices or things that I didn't understand or things that I didn't feel like paid off.
Okay.
But overall, I loved it. 10 out of 10, would watch again.
Cool.
Mm.
Okay. Charles, why don't you go next?
I would honestly share the same sentiment. I enjoyed it from beginning to end. I really liked how everything was so meta in the beginning and all these weird jump cuts happening. It kind of goes me back to like the whole like Doki Doki literature situation, right? Where you think, oh, it's just a visual novel. Oh, it's just another one of those weird sitcom things. But you're always asking like, why is this a sitcom? Why is it always changing? You're constantly asking questions each episode, and like
Mhm.
It really engaged viewers, in my opinion, especially me, and of course you guys. Damn, every time we finish an episode, we have like spend like 30 minutes or so just explain like what was that, what does that mean, and it's just a fun. It was a fun show to watch. It was a fun show to watch to like, veterans like us and newcomers like Brian, and
Mm-hmm.
it was a good show. It was a good show. It entertained. It did its job. And yeah, that's really all I have to say about that.
Okay. And John, what's your thoughts?
It was a lot of fun. I was surprised too because I think I've told you guys before, like before coming into this. This is the one show that was kind of like, I guess it'll be okay.
Really?
Yeah, because like for some reason, like I think I was super excited for the other two shows, Loki and Falcon
and the Winter Soldier?
Yeah, for some reason, like, because like unfortunately, before then, the only knowledge I knew about WandaVision was, Wanda and Vision was the MCU, and obviously Wanda in like X-Men Evolution, and I knew her through that. But I was like, unfortunately, the movies, I guess not. I guess I felt they weren't as fleshed out enough. But
Agreed.
this show
Agreed.
definitely brought them. It's like, oh man, they were perfect. But yeah, I found myself falling in love with the show afterwards, where it's like, oh my god, it's so good.
Mm-hmm.
So went with very low expectations, came out with I came out a sad boy because of what happened. But overall, I would say the show is really good, especially like and having watched all the movies beforehand. Definitely, I guess feels like a kind of like a little treat to if you knew little things from beforehand. But like Brian, the show's it's not like super like if you didn't know that thing, the show's pretty okay with. Show's still pretty good of I guess not overshadowing you like, oh no, if you didn't watch this, now you don't know what that is, or
Totally.
you don't know now because you didn't know what happened. You don't, I guess the only thing you wouldn't know is like just how we got to here. That's the only thing. But still, like, show is still overall. If you were like a newcomer, it's like, oh man, it's a pretty good opening for getting into the MCU.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I found it super welcoming. It was a fun mystery to solve, and the things I didn't know, I could easily. I was encouraged to go find out, so I did research, and now I'm a little more excited to watch some of these other movies and pick up on all the things I missed out on. So
Yeah,
it was fun.
I definitely say like all the theory crafting that was surrounding the show was pretty great. So just didn't like
Oh yeah.
enjoy. clearly, as a lot of people have now watched it, there's a lot of stuff that is not coming true, like people theorized. But you know, it was still fun to watch and just like speculate. And
Yeah.
I'm in the camp with like how the finale is pretty good, and that it was satisfying. And even though it didn't do like some of the crazy batshit stuff that I thought it could have done, it still did its job for what it was, if that makes sense. But yeah, I guess I'll go into my thoughts right now too as well. WandaVision is probably the most unique thing the MCU has done, and I disagree with anybody saying that WandaVision basically started off unique and then just became the thing that it's always been of the MCU. I think because of how unique it starts off and how it goes, that adds to how unique it is, and even if it goes into like the superhero stuff towards the end, and even the superhero stuff towards the end does some like interesting things, like because you know, like you watch like the DC movies and it's always just super people beating up super people in a CGI fight, and it's just punching and seeing who gets beaten down. But WandaVision, the fights between the heroes is always more than just beating them down and defeating them. There's always like a battle of like ideals, I guess would probably be in the correct way to describe the last fighting thing that happens in the finale. Sure. I won't talk more about this until we get into the spoilers, but yeah, I don't know. I this show was amazingly well shot, well done. Each of the sitcom episodes was like fantastic, and like even though it was like doing plot lines and acting from like the 60s through the 80s, like I laughed at the comedy, and overall the show is like really, really, really well done. So yeah, I mean, I don't really know. I mean, I'm pretty deep into the MCU stuff, because the only two movies I think I haven't seen are Captain Marvel and funny enough, Age of Ultron, where Wanda gets her introduction to the MCU.
Wow, really? You didn't see Age of Ultron? Damn.
I never went to go see it in theaters, and
to be fair,
fake fan.
Yeah,
fake fan. Boo. Get him off the stage.
He doesn't know where Wanda came from. He's a fake fan.
But yeah, I'm the same way, Shaq. I technically haven't seen Spider-Man Far From Home. That's the only one I haven't actually seen.
Far From Home. That's another topic for another day. But Spider-Man Far From Home is probably one of my favorite Spider-Man villains in a amazing like version of himself, and I will not go in more depth of that. So
yeah, I'll definitely have to find a way to watch it.
Does Disney Plus not have it, or is it on Sony?
No,
it does not have Far From Home.
Fuck.
No, serious?
That might be a Sony thing. Yeah.
It's because of the Sony rights. That's why they won't allow them to, I think, stream it on it. I think they've been asking them like, please.
They own the publishing rights, but Sony has the distribution rights, if I remember correctly.
Yeah. So that's why you don't see Spider-Man any of the other streaming sites like HBO Max or even Disney Plus. Yeah, so
we can rent it one of these days. Honestly, there's an entire sequence that's like the epitome of what the villain's powers should be and how it was used, and I think it's fantastic. The rest of the movie is it's all right. It's pretty good. It's a good Spider-Man movie. It's not nearly as good as Homecoming for like through the entire film, but it manages its own. I had fun. But that's a different show and a different movie, and we're talking about WandaVision now.
Yeah, a superior show.
I think I think the general consensus, until Chris gets in here and tells us that he hates it or something.
Oh my god!
Which I doubt. I doubt he will say. But I think
it'll be such a turtle. It's like, actually, guys, I hated watching it.
The general consensus, I think, is all of us that for both newbies and oldies alike, is that this show is fantastic and people should watch it.
Mm-hmm.
Agreed.
Yes. Yeah. So with that being said, because Chris is not here and I don't know when he's going to be back, we are now going to go into spoiler territory and actually take part in the spoiler cast. So if you have not watched WandaVision, if you are okay with spoilers, or if you're not okay with spoilers, this is your last chance to tune out the stream, leave the stream, go watch WandaVision in your own time, come back, because I'm pretty sure I'll have this VOD up on the Twitch for a while, and it will be up on YouTube after 24 hours after this ends, because there's that weird Twitch thing that I found out. So yeah, again, going to go into spoiler territory, going to talk about the actual plot of WandaVision. You have been warned, and we will be doing a countdown now. 10, 9, 8, 7,
Get out of here!
6,
Go,
5,
man.
The spoilers are coming.
4, 3, 2, 1. Okay. Agatha Harkness, it has one of the best theme songs in this entire show. I'm sorry.
Oh yeah, I fucking love it.
Oh god, and I can't believe that the actress that plays her actually is singing as Agatha in that theme song, which I find impressive.
I didn't know about that.
Yes.
I didn't know about that. Damn.
Agatha Harkness is also probably the most interesting MCU villain since Kilgore from Black Panther, in my personal
You mean
opinion.
Killmonger?
Killmonger, sorry.
Kilgore is what's his name from Jessica Jones.
That's right. That's the Purple Man. Sorry, that's my
Purple
mistake.
Man. Yep.
Killmonger.
Killmonger.
Sorry. Yeah, Killmonger. Since
Big fan. No. No.
yeah, big fan, right? Killmonger and Thanos, I would say. In the fact that I would say that she's not a true villain. She's just kind of the antagonist in the literary sense. She's just the opposing force against Wanda, but she's helping her. It's I don't know.
I still think she's kind of bad.
Well, I mean, yes, because she wanted to steal the power of the Scarlet Witch from Wanda, but again, compared to all the other villains in the MCU, they always have like a motive and stuff. You always find out what their motive is. But with,
Yeah, because she didn't want to rule the world or anything. She just wanted the powers, right?
yeah, she literally said that she takes power from those undeserving. That's kind of her shtick. Like I talked to this about Brian a little bit before we started the podcast, but she's not really, and like even during the fight that she has with Wanda, she's not really trying to hurt Wanda. She's basically just antagonizing her, and like trying to show that she is, because she's out of control and she doesn't understand her powers, that she doesn't deserve them. But she's also saying that because when Wanda does become the Scarlet Witch, she doesn't know what she's unleashed, and I'm really curious more about what that entails, but I guess we'll find that out in Doctor Strange 2, because
Yeah.
but yeah, Agatha Harkness is probably one of my favorite villains. The actress who plays her is fantastic.
And she's not like I believe she's also not like what you call it. She's mostly a comedy actress, I believe,
Oh
right?
yes, definitely. She's a comedy actor, but she has her dramatic roles are pretty great.
Okay.
She's also like, there's videos of her like just staring at women talking, and she looks so in love. So big.
Okay, but yeah, it's like I didn't recognize her much. This is like the first time I've actually seen her and stuff before. But that's like only thing I read about is that she used to do comedy roles. Like, wow, surprising how well she I guess fit so well into the show.
Yes.
Yeah, she was
Actually,
in Parks and Rec, if you remember her from that.
Oh, okay.
Don't
Also, she
remember
apparently
what she was in. Dang.
she was also Dr. Octopus in the Spider-Verse.
Yes, she was Doc Ock.
What?
She was.
Yeah.
Yes, this is her second.
Remember the.
And
Yep.
man.
Oh damn. Well, she's really good.
She's
Yeah,
fantastic.
like I said, she's fantastic. So I was like, I didn't even recognize her at all. It's like, wait a minute, and I had to look it up. It's like, oh yeah, she's Dr. Octopus in the Spider-Verse. She's awesome in that.
That's probably one of my favorite iterations of Doc Ock, even though they didn't really go in depth into that character. But she is
Yeah.
fantastic.
Oh yeah. Gotta miss the movie now. I'm glad I bought it for on PS4, but damn, I miss the movie.
Such a good
Same
movie.
here. I'm just glad that also Agatha is not a one and done villain too.
Yeah.
That's the problem with. I would say like that's one of the big things that people have a problem with the MCU movies is that they're just one and done villains and then you never see them again. But now that I think with the TV shows and the movies, you can have like a reoccurring villain, like just similar to like how the comics work.
Yeah.
And you can bring back big talent like Catherine Hahn to play a role in a future movie or to play an antagonist in it to a different character and have the see like the dynamic between that character and the other characters. It's God, it's just she's so good. Elizabeth Olsen, Paul Bettany are fantastic too, I would say.
Oh yeah, they were really good in this one.
Yeah.
I was like, damn.
They also pulled off the biggest troll of this show, saying that there's going to be like a huge Luke Skywalker-esque cameo.
Oh yeah, what was that?
It was Paul Bettany playing. Paul Bettany before the finale said like, yeah, the cameo that's going to show up in episode 8 is somebody, and in the finale is somebody I've always wanted to work with. And it's White Vision, which is literally himself.
Wow.
It was amazing.
It's
It took me a while to wait a minute. Oh, now I get. Oh, now I get it.
Yeah.
I'm so dumb.
So
That's hilarious.
yeah, I'm good job on them for pulling off that big troll.
Yeah, 'cause I think some people were like, "Where's the cameo? Where's the cameo?
Where's Professor X? Where's Magneto? Where's
Doctor Strange?
Mr. Fantastic? Where's yeah, I think the show is fantastic. I think each episode is wonderful in its own part. I really did like the sitcom episodes, honestly.
Oh yeah, same.
Me too.
I could
They're
have watched like an entire season of each of the era periods of Elizabeth Olsen and Paul Bettany just
Dude.
playing the Vision and Wanda in those time periods. I would kill for that, but that's not going to happen.
Unfortunately.
But yeah, what's your guys' thoughts on the show now that we're in the spoiler territory?
Definitely, it's a really well made show, and I know we said that before, but like, there's so many details, like how characters speak, like in the old sitcom episodes compared to how they speak in the new sitcom episodes. That's really hard to do, if you're, like switching between like the transatlantic accent that for some reason Hollywood actors always used back in the 1950s. So seamlessly like that, and
Then
just-
modernizing it, throughout the different times,
and then just the
cinematography too.
Yeah,
like
it's
I think when me, Charles, and Chris would watch it, I would always point out the fact that the aspect ratio would change to physically show when it's in the hex and when it's in real life. And as the time periods go, it goes from was it like 16:9 to full screen to full HD. Fantastic use of cinematography techniques to show to basically storytell.
I agree.
Yeah, super cool, super smart. I liked how they made references from the time period, like the Hitchcock references in the first episode.
There was the Hitchcock reference is the boss being Tubby, or
Oh, I didn't realize that.
Like when she was saying stop it or whatever. I don't really remember.
Oh, when the B guy came in.
The
She's
first.
Oh, when the dude was choking, right?
When he was choking, they
Yeah,
changed the cinematography completely from Dick Van Dyke Show or whatever it was supposed to be to more of like a Hitchcock with like the lighting and the close-ups. And it was super fun.
I never realized it was a Hitchcock reference. I just thought it was going into this is the MCU.
That's
the
what I
real
read
world.
online.
Oh, that's still fascinating if that's true.
I don't know. If
That's
it's
pretty
true.
cool. I didn't realize that.
It resonated with me though, so
That's good.
Anything else about the show that you noticed? Like you mentioned that you had like a couple like small gripes about it, so I'm curious to know what those are.
Should I bring those up?
Yeah, go for it.
Are we
We
ready
can talk.
for them?
We can talk about whatever now. We're in the spoiler cast,
Okay.
mate.
Ready
Alright.
to judge you. I'm just kidding.
So when Agatha went into like her memories, right, and she was showing all of her past experiences of trauma that kind of led her to where she got eventually.
Mm-hmm.
I personally didn't feel like it was necessary to have her watch TV and watch the specific shows in each like flashback. I felt like maybe once or have it on in the background, but I felt like the show was so good about being nuanced and like that was kind of like way too on the nose for me, where she was like sitting there watching Malcolm in the Middle and then they had a conversation about Malcolm in the Middle. That was the first time in the show where I was like, oh, that's very obvious of them. Just
I can understand that, but I think the point
Yeah.
that they were trying to get across was that a lot of foreigners and a lot of immigrants use like American television to learn how to speak English. I think that's what they
Which
were trying to
why-
go for.
Yeah, which I think that's was yeah. I remember that Pietro had mentioned they were trying to speak English, in the house, while both their parents were like saying Sokovian, I believe. It was
Mhm.
their
Russian, Sokovian, it's the same thing.
Russian. Same thing.
I thought it was really powerful. I liked it for the first when they were watching the Dick Van Dyke Show. But after that point, I felt like it was too on the nose. That was just me though. I didn't
Uh,
like that.
I can understand that. I from what I saw, from my own like interpretation of that, it's because we know that like Wanda and Pietro spent like 2 days stuck under that rubble. It feels like Dick Van Dyke and the old television that she used to watch with her family was like her only escape from the tremendous amount of stress and trauma she was going through, and thus that's the reason why it impacted and caused the creation of WandaVision and Westview, is because she wanted to go to basically a time before everything ruined her life. If that makes
Which-
sense.
No, yeah, like I
they
said,
made-
I liked that one. I liked that one a lot. I didn't like the Malcolm in the Middle. I didn't think she needed to be watching Malcolm in the Middle talking to
Wait, she was
Vision
watching.
about it.
She was watching Malcolm in the Middle.
Yeah, I think she tells Vision to come sit with her. I think, and that I forgot- was she watching? I actually don't remember what show she. Did you hear? I don't think they actually. Do they actually show the show for a brief second, and then
Yeah, because the roof fell on the guy, and Vision was like, "Is it funny because the roof fell on him?"
That's
Oh,
No, it's not funny because the roof fell. I just felt like that was too on the nose. Like that's just me. It's a small gripe.
again. I think now that I know what you're talking about, and I'm sorry about this, Brian, but like I think now that I understand, because
no.
my memory is so messed up lately. Now that I remember that scene where he gives like one of the best lines of dialogue in a movie in general about love and grief. I mean, she's basically like I said, like watching these shows that she used to watch her family is like her form of therapy and her form of escapism. So, and like remember that scene happens right after Age of Ultron, where Pietro gets murdered by a machine gun that he's faster than, but nobody questions it. But you know what? I'll never forget about that. Yeah.
Oh damn! I didn't realize that. Fuck. Yeah.
Yeah.
Wait a minute. Wait a minute.
Yeah.
There's been me to die.
Yeah. The people, man, people were upset about
You
that.
you mean to tell me that Pietro could have dodged a bullet there?
Hey,
He
Chris,
could've
welcome
grabbed
back.
Yeah, he could have grabbed Hawkeye and then took him somewhere safe.
No, he
Nah.
had to die so that WandaVision could happen 8 years ago,
He had to die so Vision and Wanda could get together.
basically. Welcome back, Chris.
Welcome back,
Yes. Hello.
We are-
Yes.
We are already in the spoiler cast. We talked about our initial impressions, so you are free to talk and discuss about all the big spoilers in the show.
Well, hello. I'm Chris Boner. I come from Westview, New Jersey. Thank you so much for having me. I'm so glad to meet Brian Timothy Anderson. I actually really love this show. So go. That's my intro.
All right, cool. So what are your thoughts on certain aspects of the show, Chris? since.
Let's see. Well, I really love. At first, I actually really liked the different types of sitcoms that they were trying to go for
Mm-hmm.
and replicate. That was really spot on. There was like a point in time in like college where I was able to like study TV and sitcoms, and this just reminded me of that. And it was very fun to see. What else? What else? What else? What else? The intrigue with Sword and all those agents. That was a nice break. I do not like Mr. Hayward.
Yeah, don't attempted child murderer. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he almost murdered a child. He was like shooting directly in between them.
Oh yeah, I'll definitely. Also, there's another thing that was bothering me. I think about the show, but I'll tell you that after Chris finished. Not. It's a little nitpicky, but that's it.
They totally psyched us out with Evan Peters.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not that salty about it, but you know, X-Men will come again someday. We don't know when.
Doctor Strange 2 probably.
Most likely afterwards. I'm not.
They'll
not thinking anything.
They'll probably hint at Doctor Strange 2, but again, once you're done talking, I have some ideas of what they're planning. So go for it.
Let's see what else. I love the Scarlet Witch reveal and how that came to be. That's really cool.
Her redesigned costume too is oof.
Yeah.
Costume design oof. Good
The
job, guys.
penultimate episode.
Mwah.
The penultimate episode was actually probably the strongest for me because it just went straight through Wanda's history and all that.
Mm-hmm.
And then like the finale was really good. No complaints there.
Except where did White Vision go? That son of a bitch.
Oh, what? What are you talking about?
We don't
What?
have time for White Vision. We
He
got a
just yeeted
show to
out.
wrap up.
Yeet.
Yeah, he just yeeted out of there. Like that's everyone's question. Where's White Vision, and how does this tie into Doctor Strange, and what else? Agatha's fantastic. She's my favorite character of that show. Yeah. That's like general mood about it. I liked it. I really did.
I think that's basically the general consensus amongst all of us is that we liked it.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, like going back, Brian, we're John and Brian. You mentioned that you had a gripe with director Hayward, John.
Besides that, the one thing I had a gripe before was like I said, not a major gripe. Someone brought up too in one of the videos I was watching about WandaVision's like, they showed us not like if they showed us not the real world just yet for another episode or so, I feel like that would have probably been like a little bit better. So because what was it? I think what was it? The one thing he brought up that I agree was like if they had showed up when Vision's finally I think it's episode 5 or 6. Can't remember which episode it is, but when Vision
it's one of the mid episodes.
Yeah, so if Vision, if they had shown, if WandaVision, if they had shown Vision getting out, and that would kind of be their introduction. Okay, there's something we're clearly not in the real world, or we're clearly now in the real world and not in the fantasy world. I guess it's like I would have been kind of like that'd be kind of a neat thing to kind of show us. But instead of I think it's episode 3 where you realize, wait a minute. We're not in the real world. We're in Wanda's world. What?
I mean, whatever. I think that's the 70s episode is when Monica gets thrown out into the reality. I think the reveal of like, oh, this is clearly not reality is good enough because it still keeps the mystery.
Yeah, that's the only thing. But like I said, I still like the show, but that sounds like, that would have been interesting if you had done it that way. If they had instead of showing us the real world, one Vision had come out. But yeah, I think Monica is still a fantastic character, even though.
Can't wait to see her in Captain Marvel 2.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and technically you did see her in Captain Marvel 1.
As a child, though, right, or something?
Yeah, as a child. Yeah, Yeah, that's right. Because I remember you because you haven't seen Captain Marvel. I guess you wouldn't know who she was until you watched that. It's like
She's
that was
the
really cool.
daughter of a friend of Captain Marvel. There you go. That's all. I
Yeah,
know.
there we go.
Yeah.
There we go. But yeah. At first I watched Captain Marvel, I was like, oh my god, it's her. When I first saw her.
Um,
God, I love their character. Oh,
so going back to
I wanted
villain,
more of her actually too. Now, damn, I'm a little upset.
you're gonna see her team up with Captain Marvel, so
Yeah.
you'll see. You'll have an entire 2.5-hour movie with her fighting whatever. Going back to like antagonists and stuff, I realized Dr. Hayward. Thank you for the posture check, Charles. The director Hayward doesn't really have like the greatest of motives. He just kind of just wants to collect Vision and have a living weapon again. And the fact the fact that he'd go so far to kill imaginary, not real children is a little alarming. But yeah, he doesn't nearly have like a strong push for an antagonist. But I mean, he serves the purpose, but he's good enough. Also, I'll be right back, guys.
Yeah.
Well, no.
Well, I guess Hayward is like, hey, we got like $1 million or 10 million, whatever the number is, worth of vibranium, and it's like a weapon. How do we not use it?
Yeah.
So that's, I guess, in direct contrast to Wanda just wanting everything to be fine.
Does before we go further, does everyone know what like the whole big deal about vibranium's about?
It's a super expensive. It's like it's most powerful metal and I guess the most hard to find because it's only in Wakanda, I believe.
Yeah, it was basically came from like a comet. But basically, what vibranium is, yeah, you're right. It's extremely, probably the most known durable metal ever. Captain America's shield is made out of vibranium. From Tony Stark's father, Howard Starks. He created that from a chunk of vibranium, and that's why Black Panther's whole why that country is so like high tech is because of vibranium.
Yeah, because it fell on their doorstep, and they'd pretty much been I guess keeping it from themselves.
On a meteor or something?
Yeah, it fell into Wakanda, and then they've been keeping it secret from all the world. Makes you wonder. I forget how Howard Stark gets it. He mentions it very briefly.
Totally forgot. It could have been through. I know it was probably during World War II, I believe.
Yeah, I think it's. He says it's a throwaway. He says it very briefly that, or I guess like it's like it was very hard to find or something. Very rare to find. I forgot, but yeah, like I said, I know that. But I'm assuming I was trying to think of now. Like, remember how in the first Avengers, Fury was trying to keep the Tesseract because he wanted to battle with the threat outside of Earth. To use it to fight that. So I'm assuming that's probably the same thing with Hayward's motive, which was to fight the threat outside of Earth if they have a vibranium weapon, but at least that's like
yeah, kind of like sentient weapon observation and research division.
This is WandaVision was the only I guess part of media that ever showed Sword, right? It was never mentioned before.
Yeah, Sword was never mentioned. I know the scene where Wanda was supposed to take, I guess, Vision, which it turns out she didn't take Vision. I think that's like the weird throwaway that she didn't actually take Vision. That was always confusing me for a second because it doesn't Hayward.
News. It was fake news.
I know Hayward did specifically say he took shit that she took Vision or something like that. I'm pretty sure in his episode, and turns out later he was lying about the whole time. God, Hayward's a dick.
Yeah.
I think out of all the villains, I think he doesn't have I think as Shane said, he doesn't have a lot of motivation. Or at least I'm assuming he wasn't always a dick, but I guess he's one of the villains that's actually just straight up dick.
He's just a dickhead. It's just a generic dickhead.
I guess he just didn't want $1 trillion sentient weapon to be put into the Earth.
Welcome back.
Well, thank you. Yeah, I don't like it. And the fact that he kind of knew. I want to know how he knew that Wanda had the power to bring him back. That's what I'm more curious about. There's a lot of tiny details and stuff that hinted that.
How the fuck did he get to Wakanda? How did the sword get to Wakanda? That's the one thing I know. That's a lot of people kept mentioning. Like, how does like you're right. How the fuck did Sword get into Wakanda? How did it? Because Wakanda only didn't tell everyone. Oh yeah, actually we have a lot of technology. Blah blah blah. You know, they didn't say anything about that in Black Panther. At the end of Black Panther, they only said that they would be opening. You know, they'll be opening up a bit of their borders.
No, didn't they say they were going to open an embassy?
Yeah.
They wouldn't be opening up their borders or anything.
Yeah, they don't. No one still knows what's going on in there. You know, they didn't tell. Oh yeah, like I said, they didn't tell everyone's like, yeah. By the way, we have all the vibranium.
Yeah. Weird. Yeah, I don't know. There seems to be a lot of mysteries between the ending of Infinity War and when WandaVision happens.
I wonder if they're gonna bring that up in Black Panther 2 or I guess the next or the next.
I would assume, right?
Yeah,
Like,
because
hey, we had Vision's body. What the hell happened?
like how to because like that or they probably have to bring it up somehow because like that seems really weird to like because I know I mean I'm assuming not every Wakandan literally got snapped.
Yeah,
like
but also why? How did she know that Vision was at Sword too? Like
yeah, that's
I didn't
another thing
realize
too. Yeah. Also, how did she know? I mean, even her powers don't evolve detecting things. I know that for sure. At least
that. At the time she was basically able to bend like powers and stuff, but I don't. And the fact that
I don't know.
this show takes place like a couple weeks after, or weeks after, a couple months
What,
after
the Sword
Infinity
Center,
War.
the Sword Center a postcard like, hey, yeah, we have Vision. Come visit.
Yeah, it's I don't know. I feel like there's a lot of loose threads that are put there in place so that they can be answered down the line with either a TV show or a movie lead-in.
Pietro's won't be answer ever why he couldn't dodge that bullet. No.
Again, I don't know.
I don't know. It's probably as simple as like I can sense the vibranium or something. I don't know.
Maybe.
Or
It's so
not
weird.
the vibranium or the lack of, or like how he was powered by the Mind Stone and it's like, oh, I can sense traces of the Mind Stone. I
It's
don't
kind
think
of
I can
sad. Oh, I'm sorry.
I don't think like how Sword found it. I mean, like that would be a nice thing, but I don't think they should focus on it.
Yeah,
or,
I'm
like,
sure.
how she found out like Vision was in Sword headquarters. I'm like that's a little tiny detail in the grand scheme of things.
It's so important. I need to know. It's like how King Mickey wasn't wearing a shirt at the end of Kingdom Hearts.
See, that's stuff that we don't need to know.
No, there has to be a continuity.
Had to make sense, Chris. Don't you understand? I need
Yeah,
to
but
know.
like, okay, so how did Bruce Banner change his face?
Oh, well, he clearly got. What are you talking? He always had that.
Yeah, clearly that was always him. It's just
Like, how do you recast War Machine, yo? Come on.
Who are you talking
It's-
about? Same guy. Clearly same
Yeah.
guy.
for that kind of thing. It just feels like they just replace the actor. They don't replace the character, so it's literally the same person that.
Oh, I think
experiences things.
the only thing they say is like they usually some shows will be like, oh hey, you look a little bit different, or you get a new haircut. That's
Yeah.
the only.
Which I always find like weirdly like charmingly
Yeah.
like ha, I get it. You pay.
Actually, I don't know if they did that in Iron Man 2. I'm kind of curious. I had to look
No,
back
they
in the
didn't.
movie.
No, they didn't.
Okay, never mind then. Fuck. How you not knowledge that, Tony?
You don't.
Yeah,
Fuck.
yeah. You pretend that as if it's the same. I don't know. Yeah. There's some weird, like loose threads in WandaVision. I think will be paid off in like Doctor Strange 2.
And why did Sparky had to fucking die?
Why did what? Oh, Sparky.
Why did Spark-
Because Agatha is a bitch.
But yeah, no one else like I forgot. Apparently, Sparky is actually a character in the comics.
Oh, I wouldn't be fucking
Yeah.
surprised.
Yeah,
Like,
he's apparently a metal. He's apparently like a metal like dog, and it's like, man, Sparky's
Well,
metal.
I mean, there was a
Huh.
theory that there's a specific flower that Agatha was gardening, and it was so
Mhm.
fucking poisonous, and it killed Sparky.
Damn,
yeah,
man.
that would make
Sparky
sense.
died, so Vision cannot live.
Yeah. There's also
Sure.
theories about like how Dottie might have been like a what was it, the Justice League version of a character that's in the Marvel comics. Like apparently Marvel Comics has like an entire like Justice League comic line where they're basically dunking on DC characters' powers and whatnot.
So yeah, I heard. Dottie was supposed to apparently be. I think everyone kept expecting like, oh, she's probably a really important character, and unfortunately,
it's
you only
just
see her in that one
it's-
episode. And
I mean, Brian, I think, said it correctly that she was like a red herring, but I don't know. It felt weird, too weird to have such a focus on one character for one episode and then drop it all of a sudden.
and you see her again at the very end, and it's like, oh man.
Also,
Yeah.
I definitely think that the for the children thing is way more important than we all are believed to think, and I believe it has something to do with X-Men and the whole.
Elaborate. Oh, okay.
Okay, so does anybody know how what causes mutants to actually be mutants? And
Apocalypse gene.
Is it the apocalypse? Yeah, is it apocalypse?
it's called the X gene in the comics, originally called. But you can, for the sake and purposes, it's the apocalypse gene, but we'll call it the X gene for now. And basically, the X gene is just a random mutation in that happens to show up in people's DNA, and it usually activates around the time of prepubescent and basically teenagehood. And remember all the kids that were gone and are basically frozen in their bedrooms and stuff, and how Dottie said that her daughter is like 8 years old.
Mm-hmm.
And then you remember how what's her name, the doctor,
Which one?
Tracy, not Tracy,
The doctor and when Wanda was pregnant.
No, the doctor that's played by Kat Harrington. What's her name? Darcy.
Wait, what?
Darcy. Yeah, Darcy says how
Darcy.
Monica's DNA has been rewritten twice, and with the Big Bang radiation.
Mm.
Yeah, every time she went into the hex.
Yeah. So all the kids and everybody in the town of Westview had their DNA rewritten.
Oh, so this could be probably a little nod.
Oh.
So not only has their DNA been rewritten, but if I'm not, I wanted to look this up prior to this, but I don't know if CPR or the Big Bang radiation is something that like a nuclear radiation, where it just kind of like once you have a certain amount of it, it constantly just emanates from you. But anybody in that town, if they go anywhere outside of Westview, is basically contaminating the rest of the world with the CPR radiation. And not only that, so they're basically sending out radiation to the rest of New Jersey and New York and that state area, but all the kids in that town have the potential to be X-Men in the future. And that is
where's my radiation?
Where's my radiation?
You weren't close enough to Westview, apparently, Chris. So that is how I'm assuming that they're going to introduce a small amount of X-Men they're hinting at like what causes X-Men before we get into Doctor Strange, and that's what causes. I think since Wanda's going to show up in Doctor Strange 2, I think because now she's the Scarlet Witch, she's going to basically do her hex wave across the entire planet to basically refix the multiverse, and that's what's going to even cause even more people to develop the X gene.
Interesting.
That's really cool how they're gonna make new mutants.
I guess it also could introduce the Fantastic. No, actually, I forgot that.
Fantastic Four gets
power
solar
from the space
radiation.
Yeah, but hold up.
Yeah.
If they're gonna bring the old mutants back, let's just say like Wolverine and Charles Xavier, I wonder how that's gonna tie in.
I'm assuming it has something to do with the Doctor Strange and Wanda dealing with the multiverse that she brought about. So I don't know.
Multiverse can just literally allow anyone to retcon anything.
Yeah, I mean the fact that Loki TV show exists, I feel like Loki is probably going to go into depth into the multiverse stuff and how that works, and that's probably what's going to lead into more speculation for how the multiverse shit is going to happen in Doctor Strange 2. But again, all the things I just said are all speculation and are just based on like neurons in my head connecting things that make sense. I am not a comic book reader. I am not a writer for Marvel. I am not anything that. So I have my words are just my own. So just a heads up.
It's just a theory.
Marvel
theory.
Yeah. Thanks for watching. So yeah, that's my speculation on what that means, and just because the fact that Monica was able to become Photon with her third entry into the third rewrite of her DNA to I don't know. I feel like that's one way they can go with it, but it might not be anything at the same time.
Yeah, I forgot Monica. I remember Monica. I believe at one point does become. I forgot what she doesn't. Does she become Miss Marvel at one point? in
No, she
the
becomes Photon.
Oh, okay, there. I was clearly wrong then. Fuck.
I think she did take the title of Miss Marvel, but then she stepped down from that when the real Miss Marvel showed up or something. And
Oh, she's introduced to second Captain Marvel. There we go.
yeah,
And,
there you go. Yeah, okay.
She's
that makes a
introduced
little
to the second
more sense.
Captain Marvel, but she goes by Photon, Pulsar, or Spectrum apparently.
Makes a lot more sense since her powers are basically she can transform into different energy types, and that's what. And when she saves the when she gets shot by the bullets, she actually turns into light energy. That's what causes the bullets to just like basically fall at once they get.
Yeah, she just looked like jelly to me.
Mm. Her eye color also changed to a different color.
Oh, another thing I think someone else brought up, at least something I kept reading around like in forums was that remember what you call it? Wu had mentioned that he's looking for a witness or something like that. I think people kept saying it might have been Ralph Boner. Ralph Boner.
Wait, what?
That might have.
Wait.
But remember remember when Wu was like he was there because he was looking. I think a witness of his was staying in the Westview, which would I guess people kept saying it might tie into Ralph Boner because the fact that he's an actor.
Why do you keep calling him Ralph Boner?
Ralph Boner because it's Ralph Boner.
That's the character's name.
That's his name.
Oh, okay.
Bohner. Yeah.
Boner.
That it also is kind of weird that he just has a headshot. I want to see.
Yeah, if he's in the witness protection, he wouldn't be sending out his headshot, man.
Yeah, but he's also in the attic though of a building where.
Also, I just realized Agatha can mention her husband Ralph, and I just realized Ralph Boner was supposed to.
She was living in his house.
Yeah, so she's like, yeah, my husband Ralph, he never leaves the house, or like, it's like,
that makes so much more sense now.
Yeah, I know. She kept mentioning him throughout. It's like I just realized, like, oh, he's Ralph. I'm done. That was kind
of. I wonder why they like.
She kept like
made him like the fake Quicksilver, at least the Fox Quicksilver.
Because
there has to be more to that.
Because they're fucking. They wanted to fuck with people.
Oh, I'm sure.
Yeah, I don't know, man. Maybe there's something more to it.
Yeah, I know a lot of people. I was a little bit sad, and it wasn't like I'm hoping there's more to it too, because like I was a little bit sad that he wasn't actually like Quicksilver from another universe.
As soon as Agatha says, "Fake Pietro," Pietro, he's my eyes and ears. I'm like, that's not Quicksilver. Never mind.
Never mind. He's just Ralph Boner.
I mean,
now.
she's her eyes and ears, but she basically created him or implanted whatever powers that
was her spell on him.
Yeah, is to make her exactly like similar to Pietro, but not actually, because like what?
So she can give them superpowers.
Ow,
I think she.
Well,
yeah, that was really weird.
The necklace was her hold on Ralph,
and it's what gave him powers, or temporary powers at least.
That's what I thought.
But we didn't see him use powers to like interact with people except for when he was messing with not Wiccan, the other kid, Speed, when they were messing around on Halloween. That was the only time he used his like ability to interact with people, and the other time he did that is when he used to flick Monica into the chair. So I don't know, like maybe it's a temporary like power, like.
I still feel kind of bad that Pietro's original actor never got dead body and his body, and him and the actor that played him never got to come back because I think he was supposed to have more roles as him, but never actually got to come back.
Oh, you never know. He might come back. It's possible. Multiverse, man. The multiverse of madness. It's going to probably be. Sam Raimi is directing it, so who knows?
Very excited.
Oh yeah, Sam. I was like, oh man.
Brian, have you watched the old Spider-Man movies?
He listed
Oh.
all the Marvel movies. He said, so
I
I'm
forgot.
saying
No,
no.
I actually have seen.
Okay.
I have seen Spider-Man with Tobey Maguire.
Hmm.
I
Which-
saw two of those. The first two. I saw the one where he went emo and he
Oh,
walked
that's
down the
true.
street.
That was 3.
Three.
Yeah.
Okay, and then I saw three of them.
Okay, so you saw all three of them. Cool.
You didn't see the Andrew
Yeah.
Garfield Spider-Mans, even though they have nothing to do.
No, I don't think so. But the Tobey Maguire Spider-Mans, those aren't like part of this.
Yeah.
No,
No.
maybe we don't know
Weird.
until Spider-Man comes
now,
out at the end of
no.
the year. No, yeah. So right now, no. There's a lot of speculation going on with the new Spider-Man movie, and apparently there's like speculation that people haven't seen Tobey Maguire, and Tobey Maguire is basically kind of known to be tough to work with, so to speak. He's kind of an asshole, apparently.
Damn, Toby.
So yeah, so
Toby.
the whole like Tobey Maguire and Andrew Garfield returning to reprise their roles in No Way Home is, but
up in the air.
it's up in the air right now. But honestly, it's fine. I mean, it's another Spider-Man movie where it's just Tom Holland Spider-Man is also just great with me.
Same. I love the Spider-Man.
Mm-hmm. Perfect Spider-Man, perfect Peter Parker. Fine.
Yeah. So finally, I know it took a while. Now it's gonna be really sad when this is. I think it's apparently this is apparently his last movie
In the
His-
contract, yeah.
in his contract. Hopefully they bring him back. But
His
Wow.
his movies are like some of the best-selling individual superhero movies, so I'm sure they will
Oh.
come. They will.
oh
come.
damn, I didn't know about that. Fuck.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, definitely. I hopefully they keep the cast too, because I would love to see Zendaya and Jacob Balaton, who plays Ned.
Yeah,
come back.
they're all
Yeah.
they're all. I find it really great that they're all like real good friends outside of the movie too.
Yeah. So
Mhm.
the chemistry is fantastic.
Yeah.
But back to WandaVision.
WandaVision.
Honestly, I think we've talked about everything. Does anybody have any? Brian, did you have any more?
Go.
Do you have any more gripes that you wanted to
I
talk
don't-
about?
I don't have any more gripes, but I do have a discussion I'd like to bring up.
Sure,
Cool.
go for it.
I cried at the end of I cried at the end of fucking WandaVision and the last episode. Man, I almost like
It
I
was
teared
so
up.
good.
it was so good, man. I felt really bad for Wanda.
I
Man.
literally cried at the what is grief if not
What
love
is love?
preserving.
Yeah,
But
that's a
they're-
really good quote.
That's
Oh
my
such
God.
a fantastic quote, and I can't
Yeah.
believe
Oh,
it's been said by a goddamn robot man.
Usually
a fake
robots have
robot
the
man.
worst philosophical debates.
Right?
so-
Yeah.
And, what
The
is the
most
ship
philo-
thesis?
The most
Ship thesis.
profound like sayings do come from the oddest places, like with
Like-
Steve Buscemi with the whole like, does
Do you-
God stay in heaven because he's afraid of what he's created?
Or like-
God,
No,
the ship
it's-
thesis one was really
It's,
fucking weird.
do
Though.
you think
Damn.
God stays in heaven because he's ashamed of what he's created?
He's ashamed, not afraid.
Was it-
Is it ashamed or
Ashamed.
afraid?
I think it was afraid. I thought it was afraid.
I think it was afraid.
I look it
Anyway,
up now.
What was
Yeah.
your question, Brian?
The discussion.
Oh, I
Yeah, we
forgot.
kinda
Okay, so my
detailed.
discussion that I wanted to bring up. So, Wanda,
Mm-hmm.
she did some bad stuff.
Yeah.
I
yeah.
just want to talk about it. Does that happen a lot in Marvel movies where like the protagonist does some
no, that is
awful stuff?
That is
Outside
why
of
this
Iron
show
Man.
outside of the
It's
first Iron
unfortunately-
Man with
Yeah.
which I would say Iron Man Tony Stark believed he was doing good. He just never was there
Never saw the
to-
repercussions.
Yeah, he never saw the repercussions. He was basically separate. He was basically completely detached from any of the actual real like problems
Like a
that he
rich
was
person.
He
causing.
just made the
He would-
weapons. He didn't.
He
He
was-
didn't know what they were going to do.
Yeah, he also
He
didn't
was
know about
creating weapons.
the black market shit that what's his name was selling to both sides and stuff.
Obadiah.
I don't remember.
But outside of that, I
man.
don't think any Marvel superhero has had any sort of
Technically, also, technically wanted to
consequences
do some.
of doing like bad stuff or anything.
Oh, okay, consequence. Okay, but because I know Wanda, she technically did kill in Civil War. She
Oh,
ended
she
up
killed a lot of
accidentally.
people.
Yeah, Wanda. Unfortunately, has had bad luck of killing people by accident.
But that's because
Well-
she's also a like former radicalized like
Yeah,
terrorist too.
yeah. 'Cause I know she was trying her best to stop Crossbone from not, you know,
destroying everyone.
destroying everyone,
Blowing
so
up.
blowing up, and then end up blowing up fucking the Wakanda representatives. It's like, well,
Mm.
What else?
poor Wanda, man. Damn.
Wanda
Also,
was not the
also,
worst.
you guys were correct. It's. Do you think God stays in heaven because he too lives in fear of what he's created?
Yeah.
I apologize.
Yeah, that's okay. That's a
Uh,
good. It's good quote
it's-
nonetheless.
We could talk about Odin.
Odin's a piece of shit, and no matter whatever fiction he does, what a piece of shit.
Damn, man. But yeah,
Uh,
no. The other thing I was gonna bring up too, I forgot now. I wonder what the real reason. No, I'm assuming Captain Marvel too will probably explain it why Monica was really upset. 'Cause I was trying to think. In my head's like, my only theory was like, is she just really upset that Captain Marvel never came back to bring her to space as a kid? So I kept thinking, it's like,
What do you mean?
petty village.
What do you mean she's
Yeah.
upset? Like,
Because remember, she didn't want to talk about Captain Marvel because it clearly bothered her. But I was like, because I know Monica in the movies, she wanted
I always assumed that wasn't so much about her taking to space. I thought that was more about her, like she was
Her
there
mom.
for her mom.
Oh, okay, yeah, because I think I also don't think because her mom, of course, died of cancer
Mhm.
during the fact that during the
Oof.
blip, the snap.
Yeah.
It's like fuck.
But to answer your question, Brian, no superhero in the MCU has ever done something terrible, either on accident or on purpose, or has ever faced the consequences of their actions. Besides, like maybe Tony Stark.
Ant-Man
but-
tried to do some heists, but that's really it.
Yeah, Ant-Man did some heists, and then he did time for I guess
He went to
exploiting.
jail.
He went
but
to jail.
he was a bank robber. That's not really like.
Yeah, but no, I know he did bank robbing, but I don't. Apparently, I think the reason why he went to jail was because he released, I guess, the information that his company was doing some bad shit.
Yeah,
So-
and then they
Uh,
found out that he was the bank robber, so that's why he was in jail for
Yeah.
a long time. But no,
Yeah,
like
And then his actions in Civil War, also him leaving, and then being on house arrest. Even
well,
though,
Yeah,
Civil
and,
War, he was basically a traitor to the country.
yeah,
and basically a terrorist technically.
he's a war
Just-
criminal. I think he's a war criminal.
Yeah, war criminal.
War
Which,
criminal.
which
No.
Wanda is too, because she also sided with Cap on that.
Yeah,
And yeah,
Tony
Tony-
Stark basically dragged a kid into his fight.
yeah. I just realized
For a
that. Fuck.
bit. For a
And-
bit. For a bit.
Iron Man 3, we talking about?
Oh no, he's talking about
Civil War.
Civil War.
Oh. Yeah, but he's got super
Kinda.
strength and super agility and can stick
But
to
he was-
things.
Tony was really careful with Peter. In that
Yeah, that's
entire
true.
fight.
Yeah.
He
was like-
did.
Only fight when this happens. Okay, you're done, kid. You're not
Okay,
fighting
goodbye.
anymore.
Yeah,
Yeah.
because as after Endgame, we clearly see that he was truly worried about him and cared about him.
Now
and
you
he-
make me
and he-
tear up, man.
And he
Ugh.
truly like
Nah, man.
Tony Stark literally like I think that was like probably one of his biggest regrets is seeing a teenage kid that he was responsible for die in his arms.
Yeah,
That scene was messed up, man.
that
Yeah,
it was.
so good though.
Yeah. You know,
Great.
the fun fact: Iron Man 3 kid does show up in Tony
end.
Stark's.
Yeah, it was great.
Totally
Yeah, everyone's like, "Who is that kid?" It's like, I know who that kid was. All right.
Yeah, like when I saw that, like who is that kid? I'm like, wait, is that the fucking kid from Iron Man 3? Yeah,
I
that
was,
would fit the time frame. He'd be
Yeah.
like almost like a late teenager.
Yeah, man. I was like, fucking yeah. I was so happy about that.
Tony Stark.
I'm
Is,
not happy about the fucking that, but no.
Tony Stark is probably the only the person who's always seen consequences of his actions more, but never,
Yeah.
never like accidental like Wanda has with WandaVision, where with that last scene of the people coming telling her
You're
basically
killing
what
us,
like
basically?
what you're doing is torture, and how like Agatha's like heroes don't torture people.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And I think the line best said by that 70s show star
Don't
where
remember her
Deborah Jo Roop, if you're not going to keep us, kill us then, is probably like one of the most like tragic lines in that show because
I forgot she's the mom from somebody's show. Holy
yeah,
shit!
yeah,
Yeah, I totally forgot. It's like I guess like this woman seems so recognizable. Like who
that's
is
why
she?
I recognized her from immediately upon seeing the first episode. And I was super excited.
Like God, no, because I know she's like like an older woman, like which like she still doesn't look like she looked pretty old back in like '70s show too. I'm not gonna lie.
That was the early 2000s, so yeah.
Yeah, so I kept thinking
Really?
like she's like, so yeah, so I kept thinking that she had to be like it's like how old does she got to be in this movie? But yeah, I totally forgot. It's like holy cow, she's apparently 70. Yeah, she looked way. I thought she was like she looked like not even 70 in the show. She looked like I want to say like 50, 60, give her that.
Like the only other
It's a
time
very
I could
recognizable voice.
recognizable voice and
Yeah.
face, definitely for sure.
Yeah.
The only other time I could think of anything is like in Spider-Man: Homecoming when he's like patrolling and he accidentally pulls over that kid with the bike, and then that entire situation. That's probably the only smallest thing I can remember of a hero like messing up. But never.
And and then it's actually I think with the whole the bank robbery from the fake Avengers where yeah I think it ends up destroying part of a store I think.
Yes, the store that he's friendly with the father.
Yeah. Yeah, the collateral so his collateral damage, and also I think the ferry Statue of Liberty. I think if he had done things I guess carefully, he would have been able to prevent it actually blowing up, and then some people fall in the water. So the collateral damage Spider-Man had to.
But never he didn't accidentally like shoot.
Yeah.
Like cover somebody's face with his
In the
web,
web
and like suffocate them by accident.
Oh my god!
Which
he
he totally could, but he makes it his webbing so that it melts off after a couple hours.
You're so bad, guys. So
He holds back every
punch, every
punches.
single one of his punch.
Come on again.
He can literally kill somebody if he like wants.
God.
He
Jesus, I
uses
didn't realize
he only
that.
uses
Fuck.
like 20% of his like physical strength in every single fight. Like even against like the big bads, he's still holding his punches so he doesn't accidentally like really kill them.
That's why he's like one of,
Best
if not the best Marvel hero.
friendly
because
neighborhood Spider-Man. He doesn't
Yep.
kill people.
He's
Besides-
just a good neighborhood kid.
Besides
Like,
the
Yeah,
fact that
he-
he also invented
His one with
Sentai, Power Rangers, you know.
oh yeah. Also, yeah. Wow.
Oh, I forgot. He also did go back to save Vulture when he could have literally left him there to die.
Yep, and that's why
And
Vulture
Vulture
covered for him.
Yeah,
Why Spider-Man is the best. I love Spider-Man.
Spider-Man's the best. Yes, agreed.
Spider-Man's best.
That is something I liked about WandaVision though, was that like gray area, because obviously what she was doing was terrible, but it was an interesting plot throughout. Like even when Vision was on Halloween going further and further from the center of town, and he saw that woman like repeating the same action, and she had like a tear coming down. I thought that was so cool.
Oof, God.
It was
the-
like,
Oh yeah.
being
so
being
powerful.
basically
Yeah.
not even being able to control your body and just doing the same motion for God knows how long.
Yeah.
It's
So I love that aspect of the show of like, oh god, like what Wanda's doing is so terrible, but like we can see why she's doing it, and it was just I loved it. It was so beautiful and such a cool story. I really enjoyed it.
The concept
another-
of go ahead, John.
The other gripe I had was that we didn't actually see too much of Darcy at the very end, at the last two
Oh, no,
episodes.
she dipped.
Yeah, she dipped. I was like, man, I was so sad. I wanted to see more of her.
She's dipped
What's
so
up?
she
In
can
Thor,
show.
Love and Thunder.
I think isn't she also showing up in Doctor Strange or something?
I don't
remember.
know.
But
I don't remember.
She like
But I
gotta
was-
go to the next movie I'm in.
Yeah, no, Darcy was like, but yeah, I fucking love their character. I want to see more of her, but fuck, man, I was so
Just
sad.
funny.
She's prone to. She is scheduled to
Prone.
be in like 3 or 4 more movies or shows.
I'm really glad they brought that character back too. It's like, yeah, it's just
Yeah.
it's probably one of the better characters from the Thor movies, especially from their first 2 movies.
I just want to see what's her name just be super riffed when she becomes Lady Thor.
Jane Foster,
yeah.
Foster, yeah.
Natalie Portman.
Natalie Portman just be super buff and ripped.
Is she
Oh,
seriously
man.
coming back?
Yeah,
Yes.
she's coming back.
When they announced
Came back.
Thor: Love and Thunder, she came up to the stage.
Yeah.
She's like, "I'm coming back and playing as Lady Thor or female Thor."
I forgot what was the
And
reason
she's-
why she left.
Money reasons, if I remember correctly.
Okay.
Probably.
But yeah, it was because I know because secondly she appears in Endgame. I forgot. Someone made a video. It's like they probably just filmed. You probably just
no, she came back to refilm those scenes too.
yeah. The scene. It's like wow, that's really funny.
But when she announced that she was coming back for Lady Thor, she's like, "Get ready to see me fucking ripped." She didn't say-
Oh,
she didn't say
snap.
the
I think there
F-bomb.
was a candid shot on her of her on set,
Ooh,
and she's ripped.
sick.
Wow.
Can't wait.
Oh nice.
Break
me.
To go back to like what Brian was talking about, how like seeing Wanda actions impact. I like the fact that this show is a show about grief and processing it and dealing with it. Just in the fact that you're a superhero can literally bend reality to your will to create a sitcom, and how maybe not doing that or doing that is not a great thing. In fact, it's probably a really awful thing to do because, forcing people to play a comedy role in your sitcom fantasy is not great for them, especially if you have to brainwash them. But I feel like seeing Wanda dealing with the grief and slowly like unravel until the point where Agatha has to basically give her magical based therapy by visiting her memories and stuff and showing her origin story was very well done. And I like that at the end she does hit the final stage of grief of accepting. I think in the final episode she goes through bargaining, anger, and acceptance all at once, all over the course of the entire episode. So
That's so sad.
It is sad, man. She did. Yeah, even in the end, she didn't technically get her happy ending. Even like she just kind of.
But it is implied that she is looking for it, as the post credits scene seems to imply that she is looking into
I know
the dark hole to possibly find like the multiverse version of her kids that exist.
Because I know she hears the voice of her kids, but
it's Tommy and Billy saying, "Mom, we help us. We need your help."
Yeah,
Because Mephisto got them.
Maybe or something's got them.
Boy, makes me real excited.
It's always
But
Mephisto.
I'm sad. I just realized that Doctor Strange movie is coming out next year. Damn, I thought it was coming out this year. I thought it was coming out before.
A year and some like 2 weeks to the to the date next
That's
March.
gonna take a while.
Yeah, four movies apparently. It's, unless they post them back.
I wonder because Black Widow didn't get released, right?
No, not yet. It's supposed to come out May. Supposedly.
I'm curious if because like besides the fact that COVID came out and like delayed it, I wonder if WandaVision is going to explain a little bit of what happens in like Black Widow, or like has like a teaser for how they're gonna Black Widow come back in the future or something. Like Doctor Strange at the end of the movie.
She's always dead. She's
always dead. No.
Because I know, was it Scarlet? I think there's another Black Widow character in the Black Widow movie. I think it's supposed to be hinted that she's supposed to take up the mantle of Black Widow after.
Possibly, but I don't know. It's
gonna be weird not seeing Scarlett Johansson in a movie.
Yeah.
At least a movie in turn to Marvel. It's maybe for a flashback, but damn man.
I mean, this entire movie is a flashback, so.
Yeah.
I don't know.
So what did we cover when I was away?
When you were away, we just talked about like a vague general consensus without spoiling it, and then we went into the spoiler after like talking about it for like 15 minutes.
What was the spoilers that you went into?
Agatha is the best, and
Agatha's the best. Yeah.
And I think, and she's probably like, the fact that she's not a real villain in the general sense, like she doesn't really have a motive.
She doesn't want to rule the world.
She doesn't want to rule the world. We don't really know her plan for why she wanted to take away Wanda's power. She just wanted to take it away from the unworthy, or she believed Wanda to be unworthy. We don't really know how she found Wanda. Or if she was there in the beginning, or
that's another thing too. Like
she found like, oh, there's this giant hex going on. I want to see what the hell is going on.
But it was invisible up until episode 3, right? And she's been there since the beginning.
Yeah, but she's a witch.
Yeah.
So she knows this shit.
So yeah, I'm not too sure how she. I wonder if they're gonna explain that too. But I'm assuming it's just one of those little things like she was always there, or she was there before Wanda had showed up. God, now I'm sad. I can't
Yeah,
watch the show. I can't watch the
saw
show
the
again. I'm
hex.
gonna cry again.
She saw the red hex. I'm like, okay, this reminds me of the Scarlet Witch. I want to see what the hell is going on. Just to this piques my interest. I think it's the Scarlet Witch, but I want to know more. So I'm gonna hop in, go be the nosy neighbor, and see what's happening. That's what I got.
Is it just curiosity though? Like you don't think
For-
you don't think there's like she has plans for the stolen power that she had?
Oh
I'm
yeah,
sure-
she has
I'm-
plans.
oh, she definitely has
I don't
plans.
know.
Because it definitely felt throughout like the show that she was more like towards the end. Obviously, she was trying to like mentor and teach Agatha. Like she was
Well,
basically going
she
into her
wanted
comic
to-
book
to-
version of like being a mentor to Wanda. But I don't know.
But on top of that, she wanted the power, so I'm like, I don't know what
'Cause-
she would even do with the power.
Because she deemed and we also don't know how she got like what knowledge she stole from her original coven back in Salem, and why it's evil. Because obviously it's evil, but like why?
Well, she fucks with the Darkhold, so
Yeah, I don't know.
I don't know.
I think
If she stole the powers from Wanda, would that mean Wanda would have died?
I mean that's the
yeah.
implication, right?
Yeah, I guess that was because Wanda was turning old, and it seemed like just like how
Well,
I
her
think in
life
the
her
show-
life force was being drained, so she was
Yeah.
basically yeah. And we when we saw the Salem thing, when all their powers drained, they die.
Yeah.
And
Mhm.
so like when Wanda is just kind of floating there, it was kind of suspicious of like why is she still floating if she's already gotten all of her power sucked. So
No, she didn't have, but then it turns out she didn't really have all of her
Yeah.
power sucked.
yeah, 'cause
she was just making the runes.
making the runes, which was really cool. I like that.
That was
Yeah.
really cool.
Yeah.
That it wasn't
That
just random blasts like missing and stuff. It was like no, it was intentional.
Okay.
I don't know. I think the fact that Agatha is not a one and done villain is
I want to
is
see
good.
more of her.
Yeah, and I think
Hopefully we do in
Doctor
in
Strange too.
Doctor Strange,
Yeah.
or
They
even
probably
like in
do.
Loki too. That would be pretty cool. But I have no idea.
Most likely Doctor
Yeah,
Strange.
Strange.
Yeah.
Doctor Strange, Loki will probably just talk about the multiverse and like what the
Who knows
implications of
what's gonna happen there.
yeah.
do
Time.
Loki.
Owen Wilson. Wow.
All right. Question.
Talky talk.
Answer.
It's gonna be so fun. Owen
That would be
Wilson.
so fun.
What
Owen
do you
Wilson.
think the rabbit is?
Oh yeah, the rabbit
Senior
that.
Scratchy.
Senior
It's
Scratch.
it's clearly not a rabbit since it ate that fly.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it's just be a familiar of some kind that isn't like disguised as a rabbit.
Maybe
Yeah.
it might be.
God. Yeah, I just realized. God, that just grossed me out now. More, it's like fuck. I was grossed out about it before. Then it's like,
It
that's
could,
bothering.
couldn't it have been her son? Like
It could have been her son, Nicholas Scratch.
yeah, since that's his nickname.
I don't know
was
much
Senior
about that,
Scratchy.
but yeah. I don't know much about Nicholas Scratch, but maybe.
I hope the next time we
Um,
see Agatha, she gets her white hair, so she gets.
Yo, I seriously thought that when Scarlet was
Took her powers
Scarlet
back.
taking her powers back, that
Mm.
she would get the white hair.
Ah, that would be sick, but no.
Mm.
Maybe because she's under the spell of the Scarlet Witch, it'll start turning her old
I don't-
and her hair white. Maybe.
Decrepit, I don't know.
Mm.
Nah, I think they'll just
Interesting.
stick with what they had.
But yeah, I
'Cause-
also realized that she's now the strongest character. Scarlet Witch is now like the strongest character. Also, this is the
yeah.
first time they mentioned her being Scarlet.
Yes.
What was her
Yes.
name before Scarlet Witch? Which is just
Wanda.
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 This is Wanda.
Just hey, there's superhero Captain America, Black Widow, and Wanda.
It's like, hey, there's that girl that blew up the place in Civil War.
Yeah, I
I
just
don't
realized
remember.
Wanda. Yeah, I just realized Wanda barely had like. Yeah, before the show, Wanda really had not much of a like.
She didn't She was not in full control of her power until WandaVision.
Yeah, it's like damn, I just realized that. Dang.
Remember, she was also still grieving about Pietro at past.
Yeah.
Past.
And then
Ultron,
literally lose
so-
it. Then Vision, she lost. Like she and Vision were having a little life together.
Twice,
and
and then a
Nope,
third time
bye.
in this show.
Uh,
God, man. And her kids, man. Fuck.
okay, but we could get into that. But I thought the bunny was going to be either Nicholas Scratch or the demon Mephisto, but like everyone wants Mephisto.
There was so many like red herrings for Mephisto. The Fly,
Oh.
possibly Senior Scratchy. But I think maybe Mephisto will show up in Loki, since there's that whole picture of a stained glass and what looks like a
The
church
stained glass with the devil.
with the devil.
Yeah, I can't wait for that.
Context. Can you explain to me who Mephisto is?
He's Marvel's the devil. That's all you
Yeah.
really need
Oh,
to know.
okay. I know he's like Nightcrawler's dad.
Yeah,
Oh yeah, he is
Oh,
also
yeah.
Nightcrawler's dad.
but he's
Mhm.
literally the devil in the
Yeah.
MCU. He's basically he makes contracts for people. He's a trickster. He's like
Oh, then
one of
he
the
would
original-
go great in Loki. Oh my god.
yeah, especially since Loki's time traveling and going through different periods and fucking with
Yeah.
political figures and shit,
Yeah,
and dealing with the
can't wait to
time
see that.
cops. That's honestly what I'm excited for. But the Falcon and the Winter Soldier, I feel is going to be fine, but it doesn't
there's
have
no
something.
intrigue.
There's no like real intrigue unless it's talking about the guy that they let go from Civil War, so that they can have the cool
Yeah,
superhero
Baron
fight.
Zemo.
Yeah.
Oh, which goes not Zemo.
Baron Zemo.
Zemo.
Yeah. Honestly, just I don't.
Yeah, like I said, it was super. I was like, it's weird. Like I said, I went in with that being my show. I'm anticipating, but yet now I'm like, now WandaVision, like I feel like it's overtopped that show 100 times fold.
You know what the show that is going to beat WandaVision hands down?
What?
Moon Knight.
Get out of here, Shane.
I knew you were going to say that. Oh my god.
He said it so like.
Brian, if you don't know, Moon Knight is a literally crazy Batman character in the Marvel universe who literally is like like the one famous comic panel is him walking into like a castle saying, "Dracula, I know you here, you big fucking nerd. Where's my goddamn money?"
I've seen that online somewhere.
Yeah, it's like the most. It's
Awesome.
like it's the most like popular comic panel from Moon Knight, and the fact that he's getting a TV show and he's being portrayed by Oscar Isaac.
Is Oscar Isaac playing him?
Yes,
Yeah.
Oscar Isaac confirmed that he is portraying Moon Knight.
Oh,
is
cool! Love Oscar Isaac.
is fantastic. So I'm excited for that. But
I
Loki looks
know
good.
this. God, it makes me excited. It makes me wonder what's gonna happen with the Hawkeye and the She-Hulk show.
Oh
The
my
Hawkeye.
God,
I
the
forgot
Hawkeye
Hawk-
show.
God,
There
I think
is
it's supposed to.
one.
Yeah, I forgot. Yeah, I know. Yeah, I feel bad for Hawkeye, man. Such a character who's like when. Only time I feel like he's only able to shine when it was during fucking Civil War and like fucking parts of Age of Ultron because they didn't know what the fuck to do with this character.
I mean, he's training the next one, and like
Yeah,
like
Shane and
the
Kate Bishop.
SNL skit, he's like, I have arrows and I can kill 13 enemies. That's all you get. I think She-Hulk is going to be interesting because that might be a crime drama with her as a lawyer,
Ooh.
similar to like what like the Netflix version of
for
Daredevil.
Oh, there you go.
Where when it focused on that part.
Yeah, I
of-
forgot.
of the
She-Hulk's
story.
She-Hulk's a lawyer. I wonder if they're bring I doubt it, but Mark Ruffalo and Lisa Senior too.
All right, I have another WandaVision specific question.
Sure.
Mm-hmm.
What do you think exactly is Billy and Tommy?
That's a good question. Because I
Um,
know
I-
they're aren't they pretty much just like how Vision was just a fake, like I guess like a piece of her that was just I guess the embody her I guess hope or
Yeah,
wanting
I
a family.
would think that.
But then she actually
says,
she went through that pregnancy. Damn, what the hell? It's God.
but then she says, "Thank you for choosing me to be your mother," and I'm like, huh?
I
That
mean,
doesn't make sense.
it's what else are you supposed to say to like the imaginary children that you created?
But
I
You
think
can't-
they
you can't-
are like they are entities outside of her hex.
Mm,
yeah, it was so weird that because she had said that her children are real actually, and it's like Monica
Yeah, her
said
children-
real.
her
It's like
children are real.
I
and it's
don't-
like
I don't think her children are real after we saw that when the hex
Yeah.
was being opened that they started
Oh yeah,
dusting.
her.
But I definitely feel like
they
they
went to another dimension.
they
man.
started becoming more and more physical as the show goes on, but also like it doesn't explain like why they had the ability to just change their ages. Maybe
Yeah.
they're connected to the Mind Stone, or
Maybe it's Mephisto.
Maybe it's Mephisto, or maybe
That
they're
was
like
weird.
they're a creation of the Infinity Stones in general. So they're just
Yo, by that time, the Infinity Stones are dead. They're gone, man.
they're like the Dragon
They
Balls.
really be
though.
destroyed though.
Yeah,
Like that?
He,
yeah.
he
Yeah,
destroyed
that's
them.
true. Yeah,
And-
no, didn't they? Wait, hold on.
In the timeline that the MCU is currently in, Thanos destroyed the Infinity Stones.
Mm-hmm.
But they're like
God,
the
I'm
dragon.
trying
The kids' voices were heard at the end, Zeus, but that is leading into the multiverse stuff. So we don't really know what that implies.
Yeah, where are they? Who are they? What are they?
Well, they're
God,
That's-
I just
that's what I'm
realized
trying to
I
ask.
got my brain started went out the window for a second. It's like, oh yeah, I forgot they are technically gone because technically Cap went back in time to put them back, but they're eventually gonna always be destroyed. And this, at least in this timeline where they did get. God, my head's hurting now.
Wait,
Again.
No.
they did-
I don't think
how-
I will.
No, he brought.
Yeah, because he brought them back. He want them. He put them back where they were supposed to belong.
the Infinity Stones?
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
so
And then he
the
stayed.
Infinity Stones that Iron Man used went back to their proper time, the periods of time they were taken.
But
from.
so in that timeline, like in the timeline that they're in, it's that timeline's always gonna end with them being destroyed. But I'm assuming.
yeah.
But
So
I'm
they're
assuming.
destroyed.
yeah.
So I'm assuming another timeline, like in Loki's case, they're not destroyed yet.
So what we're going with is that the MCU has the multiple timelines, yes, the multiverse and whatnot, but also the way the time travel works in the MCU is similar to Dragon Ball's time travel, with like the trunks, where basically you can travel into a previous point in time, and you can return to your original timeline, but any changes made to the past creates a different path. And you're basically always going to return to you're always going to, if you went from A to B and you caused B to change into B2, B3, B4, B5, you will always still return to A. You won't return to like B A1, A2, A3, or A4. You always, if that makes sense. Does it make sense what I'm trying to say? It's basically
It makes sense.
it's the
Basically-
opposite. It's the opposite of Back to the Future, where if you make a drastic change, it doesn't impact your current timeline.
Also, you have to go into the quantum realm.
That too, which is weird. That's the whole other thing.
Oh boy, Ant-Man and the Wasp is gonna get crazy.
Yeah. I don't know. I think timeline stuff is simpler than this all the timeline. It's really not. It's really a lot more complicated, I would say, especially when we're going to start talking about the Doctor Strange stuff that he might start working on, or what the stuff that Wanda is using the Darkhold to study up on.
Darkhold.
Yeah,
The dark magics.
the Necronomicon, the book that basically created the Necronomicon in the MCU. Just an FYI, like I looked that up. Apparently, that's the Darkhold created the Necronomicon and all the other like evil-esque books below it. So
Okay.
I don't know. I think the kids were, because in the comics they were the figments of they were part of Wanda's not imagination but part of her conscious
Okay.
made real. I think they're just basically just her hope for a happy future.
I just feel like that's such a distinct line that she said.
Thank you
That is
for
like a
choosing me to be your mom.
Yeah, that is such a weird line. I'm like, that means so much more than she said.
Why do you want me to do an ooh voice when we're trying to do a spoiler cast, John?
That's why.
Tell me to say something. I'll do it, because I can't do that for like another like 10-15 more minutes.
I have no idea actually. I just want you to just say it. That's a break. I just want you to not acknowledge it and just talk to Chris like that for a good minute.
Why do you do this to me? Ooh. Yeah, I don't know.
Maybe they were part of Mephisto.
Maybe they're part of Mephisto, and maybe they're part of Wanda's imagination.
Oh my god.
I don't know.
Yeah,
Honest-
I have no idea either. Like, God, there's so many questions now. I'm so sad that Ralph Boner is still Ralph Boner, not anyone else.
Not
These-
Quicksilver.
Not Quicksilver. Damn. Like, I mean, I'm sure. Like I said, I'm sure he's gonna be. Yeah. They just released a picture of the Eternals.
Yeah, there's also the Eternals, which I don't know much about.
Yeah.
With
Actually,
Angelina
look,
Jolie.
news look a big bad at the. Was it? What at the Eternals? Okay, never mind.
So,
Okay. There's a picture of
any
the
other
big bad.
questions?
Mhm.
Who do you think is going to be the next big bad?
That's a good
of
question.
the MCU.
Yeah,
Yeah,
because no,
next
Thanos is
Thanos.
gone. Thanos.
Galactus.
Oh, that would be pretty cool. I want
That
that.
would be
Now.
amazing.
People are saying Galactus, but we haven't really gotten a lot of the
But I don't know who has Silver Surfer. Who has Silver Surfer's rights
Fantastic
now?
Four. Oh,
Okay.
Yeah.
I think Marvel does now. It was
Okay,
part of
never
the
mind.
Fox deal since he would
Oh,
show
cool.
up in the Fantastic Four films. So,
Ooh, that's pretty cool. So,
I
really hope-
think there was hints of what was his name? You mentioned it earlier when we talked about when we were watching WandaVision on Friday, Chris.
Okay. Oh, never mind.
Uh,
I was in there.
It
So-
was Conqueror, something the Conqueror.
Oh,
the Conqueror?
yeah, King the Conqueror. There
King
you
the
go.
Conqueror.
I think he's
he-
supposed to be hint. I think his hints that he's supposed to be the next big villain.
Because he has time travel bullshit.
Yeah.
Yeah. He's also in Ant-Man and the Wasp: Quantumania.
Yeah.
So that's what they're leading up to. I think.
So King the Conqueror might be who's played by Jonathan Majors apparently.
Which means we would get Iron Boy, which we were getting an Ironheart TV show.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which that would be pretty cool. I can't wait to see that. Even though I know her character is, I think the comics apparently
Smartest-
people not a big fan of her apparently on comics.
Well,
Yeah,
about to be.
because be bullshit racism. Because
I know, right? It's a bullshit.
oh, we
racism.
can't have a
What?
black girl be the smartest person in the Marvel comics universe.
Even though
Smarter
even
than
though
Shuri
pretty-
and Tony
You mean
Stark.
T'Challa?
Isn't Shuri from Black Panther?
She was
smart,
until
yeah.
Yeah,
Ironheart
isn't
shows
Shuri-
up.
and until Ironheart shows up and makes Iron Man soup.
Ironheart is literally the smartest character in the comic book universe.
Well, Squirrel Girl can beat Thanos, by the way.
Yeah,
I
Squirrel
s-
Girl can be Thanos. Oh, I want.
Yes.
Squirrel
Yeah,
Girl.
she could.
Yeah, well, actually, she could be showing up in the Miss Marvel show. I think. I know.
That'd be nice.
I know. They're I think friends. I think in the shows and the comics.
Yeah, because she's part of the Young Avengers, if I remember correctly.
Yeah. So that'd be kind of cool. I hope they bring her into. Hope they
I wonder
bring
what the
her.
Miss Marvel show is going to
So-
be like, though. It's going to be interesting.
Yeah, that's coming out this year too, right? The Miss Marvel show.
End of this year, I believe,
Soon?
in fall. I
Yeah,
think.
end of this year. Ooh, man, there's so many shows, man.
Yeah,
So
because
many
it's
shows.
the Falcon and the Winter Soldier, and then just like with WandaVision, there's going to be like a 2-week break, and then they go into Loki, and then
Apparently, because I know the show's starting up the 19th, which is next week.
next 2 weeks, yeah.
Mhm.
And then I know Loki shows up in June, apparently June 11th,
Yep.
Yeah.
because Falcon ends in April, so we have like a. I know, right? Because only 6 episodes. I'm a little bit sad, man. I know they said that it's probably not gonna be a season 2, but I kind of wish they went the 9 episodes like they did with WandaVision, or at least go 13 episodes, man. You guys got the money. You'll make the money
Either
back.
that or extend the runtime and make it
Yeah.
like an hour.
45 minutes an hour, and make it
Yeah.
12 to 16 episodes instead of. Oh wait,
Yeah.
it's ending in. Loki is ending in April.
No, Falcon and the Winter Soldier is ending in April. Loki's hasn't said what they're gonna end, but Loki's already been started for a season 2, so even before it got released,
Really?
even before it got released, it got a season 2.
It was like apparently something's going on in Loki.
Yeah,
I'm
Loki,
assuming
but
multiverse bullshit. So,
yeah.
whatever.
What if it's supposed to show up in mid 2021? What if?
But that's not canonical to the MCU. It's just
Yeah,
that's
that's
just a
just-
fun story
Just
thing.
fun stuff.
Yeah.
And late 2021 is Miss Marvel, Hawkeye, and next year is Miss Moon Knight, She-Hulk. Apparently, the Guardians of the Galaxy Holiday Special, and
Which
yeah.
is going to be weird because it's
Huh.
before Thor: Love and Thunder, because there's
Yeah.
supposed to play a big part in that, and so is this
It'd
just
be-
is this
the
just
Guardians-
is it just the
the
Guardians
Guardians-
just hanging out with Thor during Christmas? Is that what's that
Hell
premise
yeah.
yeah. But Guardians of the Galaxy 3 won't be a thing until 2023, so that's really
Yeah.
weird.
is? So whatever happens, that is probably going to lead into that movie, knowing how that works. Also, is that the picture? Is that what he looks like? is there-
No, that's not Krang that's just the villain in the Eternals.
No,
which
I know.
forgot
Is
What
that
the-
is that what the villain looks like in the Eternals? Because
Yeah, that's what everyone's saying. That's what everyone's saying.
I don't know,
that
man.
that looks pretty. I mean, it looks cool artistically wise, but like that's a weird looking villain.
That's weird.
Is it Crow? I think was it the villain Crow? Crow with
That is a
KRO.
very odd looking villain. Dang.
Yeah, maybe it's concept art.
Yeah, or like promotional.
Yeah,
Uh,
Eternals would definitely be. Like I said, Eternals and Shang-Chi, which are both characters I don't know anything about.
okay, I think we're missing a big thing,
Mm-hmm.
and I'm gonna preface this with a question: who do we trust now that anyone could be a scroll?
Interesting.
Discuss.
all the lead characters in
Yeah, all the
shows and
all
movies, I would say,
yeah.
and nobody else. I think Jimmy Woo we can pretty much trust because I don't think he's
Yeah,
a Skrull.
he's a Skrull.
I mean, we trusted Samuel L. Jackson, Mr. Nick Fury
yeah,
here,
but he was
and
already
he ended up
acting.
being a scroll.
He was already acting weird in Spider-Man. Like there was clearly a point where the Skrulls are either perfect at protecting themselves or they're just really bad at it. And I think the Nick Fury one is like indication of like, I don't know when Nick Fury went to space. He must have done it when he got brought back after the blip, like
Yeah, most
immediately
likely.
afterwards.
It's like I'm going to space. Let's go, Maria.
Let's go. Let's go to
Um,
space.
But I think we can trust Peter. We can trust all trust all the main characters of each property to a certain degree.
Yo, what if
if-
Tony Stark comes back
As a
as a
Skrull.
Skrull?
Oh, God. Actually, I guess that would make sense.
I've only
That would be
heard that
terrifying.
I've only heard that Robert Downey Jr. is reprising Tony Stark as a voice in Ironheart or something. So
Okay.
That'd be pretty cool.
Like, obviously, they're not gonna bring back Tony Stark, but like
they pay him
Yeah.
too much money to bring him back, so no, they're not going to bring Robert Downey Jr.
Yeah.
back. For
Damn, I
anything.
would love to see him. I would love to see him back though. But it'd be really weird to see him back
Supposedly
too.
he's supposed to
Yeah.
play the Jarvis replacement that might be in
Wow.
Spider-Man's next suit, or
maybe.
in the Stark Industries like lobby or something as like an homage like to him or something. I don't know.
But yeah, we got Secret Invasion, and come
I
on,
also-
talk about
Also,
I-
Armor Wars. Robbie, that's James Rhodes' show, I believe. Armor
Yeah.
Wars. Which
Yeah.
means
Like, but like, you know, there's literally a mid-credit scene where some Skrull shows up and like, hey, let's go to space. Let's go.
'Cause Nick Fury wants to talk to you.
Nick Fury wants to talk to you, and there's literally a Secret Invasion show. So I'm
That's
like,
not happening for
"Ah."
like a couple years though.
Yeah, I'll
Oh, I'm like, you got Skrulls, and anything is possible.
But
everyone's
like,
a
what is
Skrull.
what
Everyone's
is
the show confirmed.
but what is their plan? Like, there's right now there's no real set like plan for why they're invading Earth. There's no Infinity
know.
Stones. There's just time travel shenanigans.
I don't know.
So-
Maybe they just want to conquer
Skrulls
Earth.
are
dude.
always there,
Maybe.
man.
They want to conquer. Maybe they want because I know the Skrulls in Captain Marvel aren't the bad Skrulls, but I know there's also. I think it's also the very first time where I think the cinematic universe has made the Skrulls be the good guys, but I'm not sure if they've always been. Because I always assume they've always been the bad guys, but I think as you said before, Shane, that
There's,
it could
like-
just be a faction.
There's like two factions or species of them. There's the
Wow.
green and the blue ones, I think. The blue ones are the evil ones in the MCU or something. I don't know.
I've also seen the green ones be the bad guys at one point, but they weren't actually really being bad guys. We're just, trying to find a home, and they weren't really the bad guys.
Yeah. I still have to see Captain Marvel. I'll explain probably
Yeah,
a little bit better.
you like the '80s type of feel. '87 is it the '80s or
90s.
'70s?
90s.
'90s. Okay, never mind.
Remember,
Fuck
she literally, the only thing I know is she literally falls into a blockbuster, and that's the most 90s thing you can fall into
Yeah.
from outer space.
Yeah, you like that at least. I don't know. Like I said, the movies, as Chris has said, it's kind of forgettable. Fortunately.
Yeah.
Kind of mid.
All you need to know is Skrulls, and I'm like,
Yeah.
yeah, they could appear at any moment.
Isn't there
Yeah,
a
you
cool
say-
fight scene with that granny scroll or something? Like in the trailer?
Oh yeah.
Oh,
Yeah,
yeah,
I was-
that.
That's
Yeah.
pretty.
People were
That's pretty.
annoyed because
It's like-
she punched a grandma. I'm like,
She
"What the
punched a
fuck?"
gr-
She wouldn't
God,
punch a
it sure
grandma. She would
punch-
punch a grandma if it was a scroll. But it would have been funny. If it was his
Guys,
grandma.
guys, don't you understand that this movie's violent? Oh, they
She's
promote
been brainwashed. Like, come on, guys. Like,
guys. They promote old people abuse. I'm sure. I remember fucking reading the articles. People upset
What
about
the
that.
fuck?
that was the best part of the trailer for me. Everything else was like, oh, okay, it's.
Yeah.
Oh, she punched a grandma. But no, none of us thought like, oh no, man, that's a real grandma. None of us thought that.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
But yeah.
So since we're getting way off topic, let's bring it back to WandaVision. And since we're getting almost 2 hours in, we should probably start wrapping this
Almost
up.
2 hours? Wow.
Yeah.
Jesus Christ.
So,
damn.
any
Wow.
closing thoughts on WandaVision? Any theories about where you guys want to see what happens in the future?
I
already
wanted
talked
to
about
s-
my stuff, so. go
I
ahead,
wanted
John.
a season 2, but now I kind of don't really care if it's a season. I don't think there will be. The show kind of ended itself.
Kevin Feige confirmed that there will be no season 2.
Yeah, so I was like, I was one of those people. I know it begins like, I kind of want, as I was watching, I kind of wanted season 2, but the ending kind of wrapped it up. That this was like, this doesn't really need a season 2.
Yeah,
And I would've
basically,
known it.
from what I know, Kevin Feige said that there'll be shows that have lead-ins, shows that will have continue on after the first season. Basically, they're going to have shows that are basically one and done, so that lead into movies, and then they're going to have shows that basically are self-contained, or not self-contained, but basically have multiple seasons, so that might lead into the bigger picture. Of,
Yeah, it makes me wonder if we get a
basically-
Scarlet Witch movie one day. That'd be kinda cool.
Probably.
But I don't,
Probably not going to
Or,
happen
I'm-
for the next 5 years, according to the
Oh, yeah.
amount of movies that they've already announced. But
yeah, like I said, I don't think. But I'm assuming her. I'm sorry. No, I'm sorry, Zeus. I'm sorry.
we would probably have to get Vision back. and
Yeah,
find out where he.
I'm assuming
he
we have to
fucked
get
off to,
Vision.
so that they can team up.
ship of Theseus, man. The ship of Theseus.
Oh my god, the ship of Theseus.
Man, it threw me off for a bit. It's like, wait a minute, it's like it's supposed to be the same shit. Then it's like he says, it's like he said what I said. He said what I said.
I mean, it is an actual like
Theory,
philosophical
it's a-
puzzle. It's like
Yeah.
even if like you don't have to take like the ship of Theseus. You can take it like a ship of any kind. So like if a ship that is like well known has like a god damn it Zeus is it's rotting and you replace the boards that are rotting, is it still the same ship or is it a different ship?
I like that. I like that part.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That was a good
cool.
part. That was
And-
like really good. I'm like, oh shit.
It's
Man,
like,
but I thought he was gonna end up killing himself for a second, but then he flew off to nowhere land. I was like,
I-
oh, thank God.
Please, the boards what is what did you spell out in the chat?
I was
Brian?
trying to woo.
We
Well,
place the bloods from
Paste the
water.
boys to the water.
Do you know the boat of Theseus conundrum?
Oh my God, Shane! If you post a video of yourself doing the fucking
The entire dialogue.
Blade of
Okay,
the
fucking
ship
ooh.
of
So-
Theseus.
Oh yeah.
fucking love you forever.
One thought on that. During
Please
during that conversation when he actually like wakens his Byakugan and allows him to remember everything. Do you find it interesting that it does start glowing like the Mind Stone, but then it goes back to its like blue color
Yeah.
for some reason?
Yeah.
I wonder what's going on up with that, because
It's the memory of the Mind Stone. I don't know.
but it's not. The,
Yeah, Yeah, I wonder that too, because I know this Vision technically now has memories of himself before the snap. Well, before he died. Yeah, before he died. So
Twice.
he obviously didn't have any.
Yeah.
Yeah, so he doesn't have the memories of himself clearly being with Wanda, because that was never the real Vision, which is so weird now.
Well, no, he
Third
does.
man.
He has all his memories pre getting murdered twice by Thanos, and that includes
Yeah.
the time he spent with Wanda.
Yeah,
I-
so
I don't
I was kinda
want
sad.
to do any voices. Shut
I'm sad he didn't get to go. Like, I thought they could have at least him like watching Wanda, or him and Wanda getting together in the end. But damn, I'm sad, dude.
Why did the fake Vision not tell him? He just like I like the fact that he's like I was once a voice, and then I was a man, and then I became something else. Maybe you'll see me something else. I gotta go bite.
Mhm.
Like I like that he was like weirdly like cryptic about it instead of just saying like, oh yeah, that other vision, I might have awakened his memories. You had time, but he wanted to be dramatic.
Nah.
Gotta be
You want to,
dramatic.
yeah. You want to be dramatic. He didn't want Wanda banging the other robot. Him didn't want.
Oh my god.
But he's
She
not
want-
real.
He wanted to have the fake robot Wanda sex. Oh man, that's
Oh
kind
my
of weird
God.
now.
Wait,
Wow.
what?
Okay.
Alright,
Okay, John.
well, that is going.
Going back to what Shane said earlier, you asked, like, what do we want to see next?
Yes.
And I was thinking about it. And what I liked most about WandaVision was that it was, to me, a mystery. And I thought that was really fun for a superhero show to be a mystery. And so I was thinking, let's do other genres. So, like the She-Hulk movie or should
TV
be
show.
like a crime drama. There's like a full-out legal drama.
Yeah, it
That'd
should
be cool.
Law and Order, basically.
Like Law and Order, but with superheroes.
That'd be pretty cool.
So I think it would be fun to do other genres like straight up horror movie that's
Yeah.
superheroes or stuff like that. I think that'd
I
be really
mean,
fun for them to.
From what
Go ahead and back it up,
Sam
Shane.
Raimi did superhero or sorry, he's known for doing horror movies, and that's why people were excited about Doctor Strange 2 and the Multiverse of Madness, because it sounds basically like a horror film. And I think even Kevin
Sweet.
Feige confirms like, yeah, this is going to be a little bit more scary, and it's going to deal more with like the what is the word I'm looking for? Not Cthulhu, but like that if not
H.P. Lovecraftian.
Lovecraftian kind of
Eldritch?
eldritch horror. Thank you, Chris.
Ah.
The eldritch type of horror that we see. So it's going to be more of like the horrors that Doctor Strange 1 kind of touched upon, with like him traveling through the what was it that he traveled through? The kaleidoscope universe bullshit that he was going through, but how terrifying that could be, I guess. And Sam Raimi I trust because he made The Evil Dead, so I have high faith.
And he did make the original Spider-Man, so he must be a good guy. No.
Yeah, so if he can balance the heroes with the horror, I'm perfectly fine with that. But I agree, Brian. If they're going to do TV shows, they should do weird things with it, and they should do like
take chances. I think it would be super fun.
I think WandaVision
Also-
showed off that like if they take a big chance on a TV show weird premise, that people will love it.
Oh,
yeah.
Mhm.
And then in addition, what other superheroes do I want to see? I say we have Billy, we have Skrulls. It's time for the Young Avengers. Let's do Young Avengers.
Spider-Man,
Yeah.
yeah. Do it.
We
Do it.
got it. We got to do
Do
it.
it. Do it now.
So that's what I'm hoping for, more than anything.
What about you guys? Charles, Chris, John? What do you guys?
There's the possibilities are endless with the multiverse coming in. I don't know who the next big bad is, but I'm pretty sure it's Galactus. I'm just saying.
I think
it's like
Galactus
a
will probably
villain.
be the long-term thing. I think there'll be a lot more. I think like Kang the Conqueror would be like a couple arcs villain, you know, with the time
Mhm.
travel bullshit, and then they'll eventually lead into the Galactic storyline and where Galactus shows up. But I don't know. It's not going to happen for another like 10 years or something until we find the conclusion. Also, how would they even fight Galactus at this point?
Who knows?
Yeah.
In some way.
Yeah, I guess they'll have to bring up the Silver Surfer at that point, alright? Because we no longer have Iron Man to stop the help. We no
Fantastic
longer
Four,
have
too.
Iron Man.
Especially since they just confirmed that the Fantastic Four movie's in development, so
Ooh, man, I can't wait. I wonder where they're gonna go with that one. Oh, I'm so excited.
can't be worse than Fan Four Stick. That's for
We
fucking
don't talk
sure.
about that. That never happened. That
Hey,
never happened.
Hey guys, I have an idea for what we should be called. End credits.
Mm.
God.
Do.
It'd
Makes
be
me wonder.
cool. It'd be cool if when they bring the X-Men and we do like a Phoenix saga.
Oh, that'd be pretty cool. But yeah, there's also Deadpool also now becoming part of the Marvel Cinematic Universe. But I believe this third
Will-
movie is not.
Will be rated R.
Yeah,
Mm.
So
and maybe we get that one day crossover with Tom Holland, Spider-Man, and Deadpool's actor that I'm forgetting his name now.
Tom
Why can't I
Holland?
remember his name?
Ryan Reynolds.
Ryan Reynolds. Yep,
Yeah.
that guy.
It'd be funny to see Ryan Reynolds interact with the child Tom Holland Spider-Man.
That is really weird. Actually,
Like,
you bring it up like that.
I mean, no, because the Spider-Man that in the comics is like late, like he's like 18, 20. So I would find it funny if like Ryan Reynolds doesn't he tries not to say like the F word or the S word because he's in front of a child, and you just constantly makes jokes about that. And then at the end of the movie, like Peter says fuck, and like Ryan's like, he just like has like a tear through his mask. He's like, I'm so proud.
I wonder if they're gonna make Peter ever say the F word.
They get
God.
one in PG-13. You get one fuck or one shit, and there you go.
Yeah.
Boom. I don't think Peter's had curse in any of them, right? Yes.
Nope.
He
I
says,
mean-
"What the f?" At the
Yeah,
end of
at
the
the
cut.
end of it, and they cut it.
Yeah.
But I think the villains are the ones who always curse during the movie. Like, they actually curse. But yeah.
They're the bad guys, of course.
Damn, Zeus. We're probably gonna die if Marvel concludes him and Zeus. Wow.
I mean,
I just-
basically, the MCU is basically going to be the joke of 100 years of Rick and Morty, but it's the MCU. So yeah.
Oh boy.
Wow.
Yeah.
Man.
Any other closing thoughts before we head off for the night?
I am excited for Falcon and the Shield. I know it
Same here.
might seem like a generic thing for some of y'all, but
I'm so
I
excited
don't
for
think
it.
so.
Yeah,
I
I'm
think with the
excited.
quality that Marvel's been shooting out lately, it's going to be good. Which I believe is 2 weeks down the road, guys.
Yep, next-
12
the
days.
19th.
Yeah, the 19th, which we will probably do a spoiler cast about that as well, depending on how we all think of the show and whatnot.
Oh, like I said, it's like Charles said, like Marvel definitely brought their A game with WandaVision, so now they're going back to the whole action. So we've loved, their action has always been top notch. So
Yeah.
I can't imagine.
I love Infinity Wars. Oof,
With WandaVision, it was always the hook of the mystery for me, and
Yeah.
like I'll watch all the Marvel movies and stuff of it. Like I saw those 2 movies I mentioned earlier that I still have to watch. It's just there's nothing really grabbing my attention for this show.
Okay.
Well, I honestly could say the same thing for WandaVision when it the first
Yeah,
trailer came out. I
same.
was like, what the heck is this show? You know, why are we going into Wanda who wasn't that well developed in the MCU films?
It was a very interesting first choice.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
like,
Because
I'll
originally,
give it time. So, at first I was like, I don't know, but like this is very interesting. I like the sitcom angle.
Mm-hmm.
So that's how I got hooked.
I was always
Mhm.
excited just because it's these 2 characters we never got fully fleshed out compared to their compatriots, and it's like this weird sitcom thing going on. That's what really like hooked me. Is like, oh, okay, so these are characters I don't know very well getting fleshed out, and there's this like weird thing going
I
on.
agree.
I know
But yeah.
I know who the Falcon and the Winter Soldier are. They hate each other. I remember that joke of them like riding in a car and they told each other to shut up. Like,
Yeah.
it's a buddy cop. It's
gonna
gonna
be
be a buddy
perfect.
cop Marvel movie, and that's fine. But I mean, and yeah, like the villain from Civil War returning is going to be somewhat interesting to see what his plan is. He's already
And the
basically
guy-
destroyed the Avengers, so I don't really know what he's
yeah,
gonna do.
and then because I know also they're also bringing in the guy who's supposed to apparently be the America's Captain Marvel replacement, even though
Well, it's probably going to be either Winter Soldier
was
or
it 'cause-
Falcon. That's like the whole thing is like that you see like,
Yeah.
a Captain America person running out of like a football stadium, and
it's supposed to be he's supposed to be, I guess, the poster boy of the new poster of
America.
Captain America.
Yeah,
Wyatt Russell playing John F. Walker, aka U.S. agent.
and
Who's
both the Falcon and the Winter Soldier in the comics have taken up the role of Captain America. So that's that whole sitch. But like, there doesn't really there's no way you can really replace Chris Evans' Captain America. So it's just kind of it's going to be interesting to watch. I'm excited for it, but I'm not nearly as excited as I was for WandaVision.
I kind of want to I'm kind of curious about the political undertones for this.
Yeah, for this one
time.
too.
Yeah.
So this is
all-
2023, right?
I mean,
We're
the
we're
six-
at
like-
2020 something.
Yeah, I don't know, but like
Because it's past COVID and all that.
Well,
So.
they time skip so much that it's no longer in the actual year that the TV
Yeah,
shows and stuff.
Yeah.
take
does this
place.
take place? I forgot how long.
The
it takes
near
place.
future.
near
Mm.
future. But like the thing is, like, what was it? Winter Soldier dealt with like the modernization of what do they call it? So yeah, Captain America came from a world of World War II, goes straight into where everything can be, what's the word?
Convenience.
Not
Modernized.
convenience. It's like people afraid of big corporations stealing your information.
Oh, the globalization.
Yeah, globalization and
And him.
all your information doesn't really belong to you. This was done like during the time of what's his name? Snowden. This was done during the time of Snowden,
Mhm.
and that was the big thing. Civil War, you have do we really trust the government? There we go.
Never trust the
actually,
government. Only trust
Captain
your
America-
fists.
Even
Captain America
was
didn't
woke about
trust
that.
the government at the start of Winter Soldier, and that carried through to Civil War.
Mhm.
And I kind of want to know like the little political undertones after, like Endgame, and like what the hell's going on. Because
Yeah.
you could say the blip was, this is stretching it. Blip was okay. Everyone died, and then suddenly came back to life, but that could be linked to COVID. I don't know. I'm just pulling out of my ass.
I would just be more interested if they do like the angle of like half the population of the universe blipped for 5 years, and then the people who survived moved on,
Yeah.
and now the people who came back have to basically figure out what to do with their life and where to go from there, and how I guess the government would handle that. I don't know.
Also, both
Yeah.
of them blipped, right?
Hmm?
Falcon and Winter Soldier blipped. Both?
Yeah, they got blipped.
They both
They
got
got
blipped.
blipped.
So they're both the same age as when they got blipped 5 years prior. So they're still
So
relatively young.
they'll be
Bucky's
dealing
still
with some
like
shit.
100, like is almost like 100 years old though.
Oh yeah,
Yeah,
but
well,
yeah,
Buck-
they'll be dealing with some shit. But yeah, like Captain America stuff always dealt with politics, so it's very interesting.
the only problem is that I read up about this. Apparently, Marvel can't show the military in a too negative of a light.
Well, that's the American government getting in the way. They've
Well,
been doing
yeah,
that since
yeah,
World War
that's
II,
what's gonna
man.
happen.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
like the government is always going to be like, it's always going to be like, oh, Hydra infiltrated the government, and it's not really the American government. It's Nazis pretending to be.
They don't
wanna be Well- too
real.
Yeah, they don't want to.
Yeah,
They don't want to
they're
get too
Nazis,
close in that.
And we got Nazis in government. Let's
Yeah, but the MCU got rid of the Nazis. It's the
right. But
Hydra's dead. You know.
Yeah, I wonder if they're gonna bring up
I
Red
don't think
Skull
they're
this one.
dead though.
I wonder if they're gonna bring up Red Skull in this one, since Red Skull technically is still
No,
alive.
he's
No.
the protector of the Soul Stone, so he's
Yeah.
not
Yeah,
part of
he's
this.
gone.
Man, poor Red
But
Skull.
we got Baron Zemo though, so
No,
it's all good.
poor Red Skull. Fuck Red Skull. He's a goddamn Nazi, John. Jesus
I
Christ.
know. Poor Red Skull. I meant the fact that we can never see him again as a villain. That's like we can never, I guess, see him again come back as like the fourth. I know he's supposed to play a big role in like in
If Loki doesn't time shit, maybe we can see him, but I doubt we'll get what's his name, the original actor.
Yeah, 'cause I know they got because he didn't the Red Skull that plays him in Soulstone. He's a completely different guy.
Yeah.
They got an
Different guy.
impersonator.
Yeah, they got an impersonator. Because I think the guy he didn't want to play Red Skull anymore, right?
I think he was busy at the time.
He was Mr.
Hugo
Smith.
Weaving. Hugo Weaving.
Yeah, Hugo.
Fucking amazing actor. Goddamn. 60 years old.
I heard
damn.
differently.
You
I heard differently. I heard Hugo Weaving didn't want to come back. Sorry.
I mean, probably paid him. They probably paid him well. But I guess But again, you always have to assume that a lot of the times the reason why actors change is either a conflict with contract negotiations, or they're busy.
Or they're
Yeah.
They Marvel and Disney have like basically control over your life for the next like 5 to 8 years for reappearances
That's
and
true.
stuff, and you basically have to probably drop everything to show up in the film. So
Damn, that's really fuck. Damn, I didn't really think about that. I guess I was wondering why we changed Hulks and
well, that's because what's his name was an asshole.
yeah. Also, yeah, he's also an idiot. So it's like that will never sell.
Yeah. But also like the Incredible Hulk has like weird licensing issues, like
yeah, which that's why we never will get another Hulk movie, at least for a while. I'm assuming.
because Universal Studios owns the rights to him, but they licensed him out to Disney for MCU appearances, but they don't want to make a movie with him ever again. So until they sell the rights or like Disney buys them, the Universal Studios, just in general, we're probably not going to see a more Hulk film. And there's no really need to see a Hulk film at this point, since his story arc is basically concluded.
All he does is dab now.
Yeah.
All I know is dad. Now he's just your crazy uncle, crazy Uncle Hulk.
Green Uncle Hulk. He'll probably play
Green
he'll probably play a part in the She-Hulk TV show, I'm sure.
Or at least a mention, something like that.
Well, no, because
At least a mention.
his blood transfusion was
Yeah.
the reason why she becomes that. So unless they're going to come up with another way to bring her to be green, so I mean,
Yeah, it's very interesting.
Okay.
yeah. Again, any closing thoughts about the MCU, the WandaVision, before we go?
It was a great show.
Great show. Go watch it if you haven't watched it. Go watch it. Go watch it again.
Honestly,
should
there's a
probably
lot
watch
of
it
things
again.
you probably didn't catch even on the second time through. But now that we have time to process it and rewatch it, I think there'll be little tiny things that we probably catch now.
I can't wait to see what Marvel comes up with next.
Mm-hmm.
Oh boy.
Moon Knight, man, it's gonna be shit. It's gonna be the shit.
Well,
Shit, you gotta be shit.
it's gonna be shit.
Oh damn. Shane, fuck.
I hope Daredevil and the Guardians do show up.
Yeah, same here. Hopefully, the Defenders. You mean? Right? You meant the Defenders, right? Not the
The
Guardians.
Defenders, sorry,
Gotta get that fucking right. No.
the Defenders.
I'm just like really hyped about the next Doctor Strange movie now because
I'm
of
really
this.
hyped for the. Damn, that'd be really cool. We also get to see what's his name come back too. Mordell.
The guy who said there's too many sorcerers.
Yeah, too many Soldier. Yeah, we get to see him come back. It's like,
Oh,
damn,
yeah.
come back and put a poor guy. I forgot. He literally fucking.
You know what I thought? You know what I thought you were about to say?
What you thought I was gonna say?
He's gonna come back and put a cap in your ass.
Basically.
God, man, but yeah, the fact that he fucking made a guy handicap again, it's like Jesus
Yeah,
Christ.
Honestly, I wouldn't
That
put
was-
it past him.
Yeah, it's like fuck, man.
He's
Did that-
ruthless.
Jesus Christ, it's like, damn, that's the most ruthless fucking thing I've ever seen. He literally made a guy fucking get handicapped again. It's like that was most people don't think about that shit.
Damn.
Oh.
All right. Any closing words to anybody out there? Or I think we're good to go, right?
Yeah, I'm good to go. Yeah, I'm
Yes.
gonna get ready to watch that
Yeah.
Falcon the Winter Soldier. Get to watch
Yeah.
my buddy cop movie at Shane hates.
I don't hate. It's just there's nothing grabbing my attention.
Fake fan.
I'll watch anything at this point.
It's gonna be a tons of fun.
Yeah, it'll be fun
Yeah,
to watch.
People are gonna like it.
Yeah, I'm sure. Hopefully, we'll watch it with you guys together finally. Not,
Yes,
like,
every Friday.
yeah, every Friday. I'm sorry, I'm too sleepy.
Yeah, hopefully I won't be too busy in the upcoming weeks.
We can
Yeah.
always watch it during the weekend. It doesn't have to be on Friday, but as long as you don't mind getting spoiled on Twitter, we just don't use Twitter for the
Yeah.
entire weekend.
Yeah.
That's also the reason why
Christ
it's like I'm
almighty.
afraid, like, oh, if I end up waiting for you guys, I end up going to Twitter. It's like, oh shoot, I think that's what ended up happening to not one to one. It wasn't a major spoiler, but it was a thing. Someone showed a picture, and it was like, oh fuck, no.
Just anytime, like when Disney, like as soon as midnight hits, just turn Twitter off for the next like 8 hours.
Oh yeah,
'Cause-
you have to.
Yeah.
Because White Vision, Agatha all along was trending
Oh,
the
that
same
was
day.
trending on
Oh my god! I
Damn.
just-
Wow.
I got spoiled on Wanda's new outfit. That was the only thing.
Oof.
Yeah, that was, yeah,
that's
that's,
okay.
yeah, that's another thing I got spoiled too was Wanda's new outfit. It's like, damn it.
People
Yeah.
need
I mean,
to stop doing that.
yeah.
Seriously.
now-
They're not going to.
No.
Yeah,
I
for
think
these
so.
last two episodes, I watched them at 3 a.m, you know, my time. So
Oof. Yeah, I tried watching them as soon as they went live, but Disney Plus just kept fighting me. Makes sense. There's,
Yeah,
like,
I
millions
was
of people
glad
trying to
I
watch
was,
it.
I was trying to download it at work at the time, then mildly watch it before I got home. Then I ended up going home. It's like, I'll just watch it when I wake up because I was a little bit too tired by the time I got home.
All right. Well, thank you guys so much for the special spoiler cast episode that we did. Brian, thank you so much for being our first special guest.
Oh,
Yes,
so
it's a
happy to be
pleasure.
here.
Yeah.
You,
thank
I,
you for joining us.
I
Thank
hope
you.
you had a wonderful time. You are free to join the actual podcast on Sundays if you don't feel like streaming, or you may feel like streaming a little bit later because maybe it goes a little long. You are perfectly welcome to come and join us as a regular.
Thank you.
But then you will no longer have the special guest title, so we will have to then take it away from you.
Yeah.
Just regular old.
Regular old Brian.
Here he is.
Oh, that Brian. Back with his shenanigans.
There he is.
But Brian,
Thank you,
for
thank
all the people watching this on YouTube, if once it goes up live, where can they find you?
Hi YouTube. You can find me in Burbank, California.
No, no.
No,
Yeah.
stop! I'm cutting that out. Don't dox him. Jesus Christ.
Like my social media.
Yes, your social media.
My Twitter is Brian T Anderson, Brian T Anderson, and then my Twitch channel is Brian Heals You because I play a lot of healers and supporters in video games.
Cool.
And yeah.
And when do you stream?
Well, lately it's been Thursdays and Sundays at 7 p.m. California time because I live in Burbank.
God damn it, Brian! No, stop! I'm ending the stream now. Everybody, if you're watching on YouTube, we have links to both Brian and everybody who's here, channels and networks. So if you want to check us out, you can find us there. But thank you so much for watching. Thanks to you guys for hanging out with me. Please don't dox Brian. It's a too personal information. And we will see you guys next week for an actual podcast. Take care. Have a good night. Vaccinate yourself and your kids. Bye, guys.
What?
Bye.
The last one? Wait, what?